Let's get ready to rumble! No doubt, some of you have been trying to chat, and it won't let you. Rage ensues, I'm sure, but this is the extra stream. So extra. What does that mean? It means I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I've been having a lot of fun hanging out on Twitch, just watching people do stuff in the background. I said, you know what? I can do that. That's something I can do. And the way they keep their chat manageable was only allow members to chat, less moderation, qualified questions, building a community. And I was like, yeah, I can do work and I can chat with people and read and have a good conversation for a while. So that's what we're doing today. So if you want to chat with us or with me or whatever, you have to become a member. I know your device might be limiting. I know your country might be limiting. I get all of that. But we got to start somewhere. And because I'm working directly with YouTube and their beta team for the memberships and all that, if we can identify a group of people that really want membership, something like that, we can help push that through. We're working on a bunch of things. And my whole goal is actually just have a bunch of fun today. I have no idea if we'll say things that can't be said and the stream can't stay up. Don't know. But the main important thing today is happy birthday to Joel Gillett from New Zealand. Longtime supporter, longtime mod, behind the scenes doing stuff on Aquarium group support, Washington Fish Box, in general, holding the fort down. So happy birthday. And I know that I believe it's Saturday here. It's his Sunday. He'll be working in the fish room if he's not being tortured by his family at a dinner. So, happy birthday, buddy. All right. Getting started today. I am mostly better. I say mostly. I'm not 100%. Mostly. I worked out on, was it Thursday? No, Wednesday. Wednesday to Saturday. And because I hadn't worked out, I worked out once in 3 weeks. And I was dying. And my quads were shot. But today, they're fine. So I'm probably going to either hit the gym today or tomorrow. And, full on schedule back again next week. So looking forward to that. All right. Also, some more inspiration. Speaking at the club was super fun. I forgot how much I miss interacting with smaller groups of people instead of like giant events like Aquarium, that kind of stuff. There we go. First member. That's what I'm talking about. It's the membership drive. Who do we got? Who's the lucky winner? Sandy Doty? I want to say Dotree, like Bill Dotree from Hank Hill, but Doty, I think. I'm going with Doty. Ooh, and another one. Here we go. Ooh, Demerkin? By the way, if you're sitting in chat and you're not a member yet, changing your name to something like impossible to pronounce is like the subtle troll. Because inherently you want to thank that person, and then you're like, how do I say that? So, anyway, but I got a rad shirt, and so let me cover this shirt a little more in depth here. A shirt from a true fan, if you will, and how you know it's a true fan is it's not just like, hey, I made you this Aquarium Co-Op shirt. It's got a fish on it. No. It's got all the little inner workings of a meme in it. So we have the Staff Aquarium Co-Op shirt. And then I got to show you the back. Because it's got the built-in. See if I can get it on there. Oh. Hopefully that's showing because I can't see. But it's got the Colby Coop Army on there. Clone Army. So I'm wearing that shirt today. I thought it was appropriate for the members only live stream. Love being a member. Best $5 a month. In America, it's $5. I hear in Europe it might be $7, but it's now my new goal. Let's ratchet it up, make it worth $7 at a $5 level. So, and I do want to make sure everyone knows this is purely extra. No one's missing out on anything. So anyone sitting there in the chat like, I'm so angry I can't chat. This is in addition. We already did our Wednesday chat or live stream and all that. So this is just purely extra consumption for anyone that wants it on a Saturday. Take it or leave it. So I would like to talk about business. I want to talk about pretty much anything, fish, WoW. This is the unofficially awesome stream in that I don't have to stay on topic. I don't have to go, hey, today we're going to dive into swim bladder and spend an hour on that. This is old school like we used to do 3 years ago chat. So, whoa, members are stacking up here. So we've got Isaac McD, Nolan Thompson, ooh, and someone trolling me, 607. I thought that was trolling me, and then as I started reading it, it's like trying to do, so the members game for the person in charge of a stream, it's like playing speed versions of figure out that vanity license plate. That's really what our job is like you get that snapshot, and then you got to like start reading it, and then I figured it out by the time I was reading it, but I was like, uh-oh, what is that going to sound like? Because it could have been something derogatory. The simple CEO? I love that. I want to be the simple CEO. CFO? I don't know. I find, so I'm very opinionated, and I find all titles to be dumb. So like, oh, are you the CFO? CEO? I just say, I'm the owner. You know? Oh, are you the CMO? You know, like I could put all these crazy titles on myself. Like, what's a CMO, you might ask, if you're not in that corporate structure? Oh, I'm the chief marketing officer. Well, of course I am. I'm the social media guy, but I don't need all these little fancy things, you know, around my name. If anything, I'm trying to delete letters. I'm just going to be C and R. Kerr. All right. Is there any way to acclimate my fish to higher pH from 7.4 up to 8.2 and much harder water? I've got corridoras, guppies, plecos, and 1 tank full of cherry shrimp. Yes, I think you could. So the only thing I'm even worried about in that list would be the corridoras. And I'm not even that worried. But for sure guppies, for sure cherry shrimp, plecos, most likely, and the corridoras, depending on where they come from, if they're wild caught, maybe you'll struggle a little bit. If they're captive bred, you're probably okay. What I do is, I don't know if you're artificially bringing the pH down, but if you are, just stop doing that. So when you go do a water change, and let's say you had to use 30% RO, 70% tap, right? This next time, do 75% tap, 25% RO. And just kind of do that like month over month and slowly let it go up. And just watch. If you're doing it like every month, you bring it up a little bit, you've got a whole month to go, hey, is anything going wrong with these? Like, oh, they're acting a little different, they stopped eating, and you easily reverse it. Why isn't the tank cloudy? So, believe it or not, this tank will be very cloudy. Well, I say very cloudy. It's lighting. So you can see all the reflections in here. Well, the light's not just blazing. And when you put on a ton of light, it also shows every little imperfection in the water. So the Fluval 3.0s, hashtag free plug. They're, you know, sun rising right now. So this is normally, you know, I normally get up at 9 o'clock in the morning when I'm not traveling and doing talks and all that. Like it's 9 a.m. I stay up late. I get up at 9. And then I think these start brightening up at 10, so normally I've had a shower, and I'm rolling out here, and I've got all my monitors, and I'll start looking at emails, and I'll start looking at packing counts for the warehouse, and all that kind of stuff, and then eventually I go, hey, I need breakfast, and I turn around, the lights are starting to come on, and that's how my day goes every day. And so what I'm hoping is, maybe we can develop a thing where it's like, oh, Saturdays, yeah, I end up doing some work, like I gotta order plants from a couple different vendors, and check in on things and look at pricing and price shop competitors and all that kind of stuff. It's not like critical it happens right now, but it has to happen before Monday for sure. So, new to guppies, anyone find it weird they sleep on the bottom? Most fish kind of just find a little quiet little nook to like chill and not get eaten overnight. You know, myself included, I choose the bedroom. All right. Honestly, really appreciate that you are really working hard to make the member status worth it for us. At the beginning of membership, felt purely for supporting you, but now I feel like I'm getting something back. Yeah, so I subbed up to, let's say, 5 different creators to see what they were doing. And in my opinion, I think this is going to get me in trouble with anyone I've subbed to, so I'm going to go ahead and preface this with sorry people that I'm subbed to. In my opinion, no one's doing enough. Like, I'm not sure we're doing enough, but, you know, I feel I promised the least amount on our join page. It's like you might get some pictures and an extra video every once in a while. There's a lot of the creators that are promising the world and then very under-delivering, in my opinion. So I try to, when I identify something like that, I go, you know what? Be the positive change, try and do what I want to see, and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm doing that. Like, I think this is going to be fun for me. Hopefully it'll be fun for you guys. I'm even drinking soda on camera again, where people can tear me apart. So, can't wait for an order from y'all. I placed this morning. You're the only place I order fish supplies from. Keep it up, man. I wish I could show you. I can't. Looks like the reflection won't show. But so far this morning, we've packed 88 orders, and we've got 58 more to go. Warehouse crew working hard. They've been working since 8 a.m. And, oh, it's 57 now to go now. And we try to pack as many orders as we can every day as fast as we can. Those last 57 orders probably be done by about 1 o'clock. Well, 1:30. There's like lunchtime's going to be in there somewhere for everyone. And so, unofficially, we will ship as fast as we can. So if you were to place an order right now, most likely it will even go out today. And I say most likely because there could be a project we have planned and that kind of stuff, and we don't guarantee it. We guarantee very little and then over-deliver. Welcome, Ham Aquatics. Way to ham it up. Where's Corpsey? I think Corpsey's just a morning person. Right there, trolling around. She's like, wait, we're live? I'm dead. Someone did come up with another good name for Possum, but we'd already named Corpsey, so. Can I talk about what fish I brought back from Peru? My wife is like sabotaging me. Yes, because it's the members only stream and anything goes, I will. I brought back a wild-caught Oscar. I brought back a Plecostomus. It's in this aquarium. And I brought back some undescribed, to the best of my knowledge, undescribed catfish species that are a lip brooder. So that means they lay eggs and they carry them on their mustache, which should be super cool. Dean obviously brought back fish. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but Dean brought back fish. Randy brought back fish. And we filmed it all. They came in super good. There was a big old snafu that made it so that the real fish I wanted to bring back, we couldn't bring back. You'll hear all about that. Totally sucked. But, you know, for the most part, everything else is good, so it's hard to complain. Welcome, Richard Beck. Alex Trebek. Aquarium Junkie RC. Are you into RC cars as well? That's the $1 million hobby I haven't got into because I don't think I can afford it. I feel like I would own all the RC cars in the world real quick. KG Tropicals in the house. Any videos been released from Peru? Only some little members only, like about 10 minutes worth of footage. Jimmy's working very hard. Part of it is, you know, there's like 7 days of footage and there's multiple cameras and then he's got to like watch through it all. And so when you watch through it all, imagine there's 12 hours of footage, except there's 2 cameras rolling, so there's 24 hours of footage. So you watch it, see what shots got used, or we can use, and like, oh, maybe this, because like, let's say day 1, we're just collecting. But then day 4, I'm talking about like, oh yeah, remember that first place, it was super cool, and this is why it's different. He needs to remember, hey, we've got that shot, let me bring that in, right? And so some of the content gets very convoluted. You do a lot of sorting, and a lot of storyboarding, and a lot of planning, and then he puts up a version. I go, ooh, I think we could actually tell the story this way a little bit better. Let's rewrite that. Our goal, and I don't know if we'll hit it because I haven't heard from Jimmy yet. Our goal is to hopefully put out one of the Peru videos on Monday. That's the goal. The very first one, like, here we go. But I'm not going to force it. I don't want to put out a product like, you know, that was half-baked. It wasn't good. You know, should have left it in another 15 minutes. So, but that is the goal currently because there's some videos that I have filmed, and that's part of the job that you guys don't see. that can't come out yet. And what I mean by that is like we don't have the products in yet, or we don't have the waivers signed yet. And so there's great videos to come out, but I've got like nothing solid super lined up other than Peru because I've been sick for like a week and a half. And in general, I don't want to make videos that might be around forever that I'm sick and coughing and there's lots of extra edits when I can just go, you know what? Just kind of take it easy these 2 weeks, work on all the other parts of the business, and then, oh, now I'm feeling great. Let's do these videos that I want to do. So, and there's stuff that, you know, I could have went and filmed at the shop, but Robert, the store manager, has been on vacation, and we've been working on the warehouse, and, you know, inherently when, oh, Corey's going to film tomorrow at the store, everyone starts scrambling to, like, you know, clean it up a little bit extra just because they know, you know, they don't want to see, like, oh, dang it, that was, you know, someone spilled coffee, it was on the wall, and that's in the video forever now, you know. Membership-a-thon going strong. We've got Stephanie Ball, Jessica Kisner-Willis, say that 3 times fast, and Goodmores. I don't know if that's Good Morning or Good Blackmores. Either way, I like it. I like it a lot. I want you to do a tank talk. Oh, see, I'm going to cough. Hold on. Sorry. I want you to do a tank talk with KG Tropicals about salt and fish disease. I can totally do that. If John wants to have me on and the technology is there. Part of the problem is technology sucks in that it's easy to have a nice live stream in your own studio. When you bring people in, the technology is not great. And so you inherently like ratchet it down quality level and you increase problem level. Like, oh, internet's cutting in and out. Things are struggling, blah, blah, blah. So, but yes, if John wanted to talk about baseball, which I'm not even into, I'd be on his stream. Or movies. I'm not really into that either. But anything for John. John's been a good guy, even-keeled over a long period. There's a lot of YouTubers that, you know, have really had ups and downs in terms of online and offline relationships just with me and the public and that kind of stuff. John's just always been a dude. It's like, I'm doing my thing. I make videos. I interact with my people. Stays true to himself, you know, and I've met his wife and him, and they'll be at Aquarium, and they'll get to meet my wife finally, and just good people. And that's, you know, there's a lot of, I'll be honest, I'm very anti-shock YouTuber, you know, and every week with YouTube meetings are like, you know, you will grow way faster if you make topics on trending things. And I just like, yeah, but why should I make something trendy when I haven't covered velvet and I haven't covered swim bladder disease and all these things that will actually help people? You know, making trendy topics helps me. It doesn't help you guys. That's the problem. So so far, and maybe I change tomorrow, I'm not willing to sell out for that yet. You know, I'm willing to sensationalize a bit, write a good headline, you know, try to get you guys intrigued to watch what I've got going on, but I'm not willing to just go to crazy town. Like, and if I was, so the difference would be this. The two different mentalities in my mind. In Peru, I go to educate and show a bunch of cool things, right? If I was trying to really get views, I'd be focusing on eating the fish, which I only put pictures out because that was part of the trip. I'd really focus on piranhas and be like, oh my God, I lost my finger. Oh, it turns out, no, it's fine, you know? And then you would just focus on all the sensationalism. And then when you actually boil it down, there's not that much content there. There's like, I could turn out videos all day long that would kill 10 minutes for you guys, you know? But that's not what I'm trying to do. Because I feel like there's 100 people doing that. There's very few people honestly trying to educate. People might be saying they're trying to educate, but I sit there many days and think about what videos can I make that will actually get watched, that will actually help a little bit. Huh. We have to censor a super chat. That's the first, I think. I couldn't even read the name because the name was the... Can I remove that person? Yes. They've been gone. Alright. What level am I in Classic? I am 29. And the dedication to you guys, when I went to bed last night, I really wanted to wake up and hit 30 because I'm a feral druid and I get all kinds of, I get travel form and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? Nope, I'm going to hang out with the people. I will say this. Man, my voice. I have been thinking about it quite a bit. And I think it's not so much I can't tell you who and where I'm playing in World of Warcraft. I just need to be super upfront. So I am totally going to ignore your fish-related questions. I'm totally going to ignore hanging out with you unless it makes sense and you actually are a person I want to hang out with. And that's going to be very hard for some people because, truth be told, I don't want to hang out with everyone. That's just the way it's going to go. So I play a druid named Sly, S-L-I-G-H, which is a reference back to Magic the Gathering, on the Rattlegore server, and I am on Horde side. So, you know, now you know who to come and hunt down and gank if you're on the other side, and you can just grief me all day long, or maybe we'll run into each other, and that would be fun too, and maybe it's awesome. What's a good RO system to start out with? Don't need but maybe 100 gallons a week so far, and I'm just starting to investigate how I'd set one up in my fish garage. I've never had to use one. I basically have RO water coming out of the tap, so I can't weigh in on what's going to be better money-wise. Like, you know, if you've used like 100 filters, I can go like, yeah, they're all filters. This one's a ripoff. This one is actually really good for your money. Because I haven't used a bunch, I can't tell you that. So I'm kind of useless on that. That's an area that I am totally useless on for now. You know, if I ever move and our water changes, I might become a guru. But I got nothing for you. Thank you for not selling out with trendy clickbait videos. I had YouTube stop showing me those channels. I truly appreciate your authenticity. I mean, it is fun to make like a clickbait video every once in a while, and if I really want to do that, I will. But I just feel like I personally plan our content so that there's like, this will be super educational, this will be entertaining, this will be for the newbie, this will be for the seasoned old crusty guy at the back of the, you know, aquarium event. Like, I try to do a lot of things, and you know, I've watched some YouTubers that I thought were really good, and then they're not really good for me anymore. It's not that they're not really good. Like, by all metrics on YouTube, they're killing it. But in terms of, do I ever click and watch the video anymore? The answer is no. It's like, I just know it's you know, and that's what I fear about clickbait, actually. And then that shocking thing is like, you click in knowing it's maybe going to live up to half of what the thumbnail says. And then you watch it and you're like, yep, I knew that was dumb. And then 1 out of 100 times you're like, dang, that was actually crazy. Yeah. But you're kind of like trapped in, and I find you're wasting a lot of time. So, treating ick for 7 days with Ick-X and heat. The fish look fatigued. Hang out the bottom of the tank. Cysts have gone from big to tiny, but numerous. Continue and change method. Stephanie, I am a little worried at day 7. My camera's focused. The heat's up. We're treating with Ick-X. If you don't have plants, switch to some salt, and that'll be a lot more mild, I think, for a long time. And then after that, if you do have plants, keep doing the Ick-X. So you can't just stop. You don't have an option there. So, Rescue Dog Treats, you've been with us for a long time. Thank you. Not even just a member, but a long time. Wow, at least 555 members. No. So, anyone can be watching this stream. So there's a bunch of people that are watching that aren't members. So like right now we have 632 people watching this. Doesn't mean we have 632 members. I wish we had that. That would be amazing. Love the trip vids for biotope info. So gonna need you. Oh, this is a tongue twister. So gonna need you to go to Congo River Basin. I'll see what I can do. Can you ID more plants in Peru? There's not that many water plants in Peru. I mean, So I know either you or other people have asked about that, and I definitely focused a lot more on that while I was in Peru. But there's not a lot where the fish are. There's not a lot of aquatic plants. But there was some areas, like at that freshwater spring. We talked about it there, So I did make a mental note, and I do try and accommodate when possible. Welcome to the team, fish, foe, or friend. By the way, I wanted to make a ultra rivalry in the chat. And that is, are you team Snickers or are you team Reese's Peanut Butter Cup? It's hard for me. Anytime I'm on a plane, I won't board one without a Snickers. I've been caught for way too many hours before on the runway. But I do love myself Reese's. I think if I'm at home, I choose a Reese's. If I'm on the go, choose a Snickers. Hank Fredericks donates 10,000 cops. Well, thank you. Using salt and antibiotic to treat my koi fungal infection. Son not doing water changes. I honestly would just use the salt. Then you don't need to do the water changes. I mean, assuming you're not getting like high ammonia and that kind of stuff. Reese's all day? Ooh, Reese's taking it by a landslide. Candies in the Snickers train. I didn't think it'd be a landslide. Oh wait, Team Snickers, there's a couple. 3. Reese's are borderline drugs. Tell me about it. If my weight is any sign of how addicted to Reese's peanut butter cups, you can tell they're addicting. Which, by the way, super thankful for people brought me Snickers. Also, people brought me Reese's at the Coast event in California. Brought me a full-on sheet cake. That was super cool. Lots of stuff got brought. Gummy bears. I'm always so thankful for everything I get. Because I know what someone has to take time out of their day. I know most people are like, oh, it's a lot of work to go to the event. But then to do something and go to the event, that's crazy talk. I'm wondering about needing a light on my mystery snail tank and a good cover for a 5-gallon. I would just buy a glass top off of like Amazon or your local store. It's small enough that they could probably ship it okay. And for a light, whatever the cheapest light is, like a desk lamp from IKEA or the thrift store or Fred Meyer or just like anything, a clip-on light with a bulb, you're good. Super easy. Finally get to catch you live. Any tips for keeping rainbow cichlids? 55-gallon, heavily planted with some Opisthococcatoides. That's a fish I've never kept. I hear they're like one of the easiest breeding, like convicts. I saw them while I was in California in someone's tank. And mostly just a good quality food. And yeah, I would like, it doesn't have to be this, but something like Extreme pellets, New Life Spectrum pellets, Northfin pellets. Something with a pellet size about that is what I would be feeding. Frozen foods, all that kind of stuff. Ooh, we're getting into business questions. I'm digging in. Colby, what would you say is the minimum city size to have success with a local fish store? My city has roughly 400,000 people and 2 not-so-good fish stores. So first, I'm not sure what city you put the city in is that important. If you make your store good enough, people will drive. So like Edmonds, Washington is a tiny city in comparison to everything around it, but it's the perfect place to pull off and go to from the freeway. So think about that a little bit. And then naturally know this. Being in the business world, it is competitive. If you've got 2 stores that are there and are staying open, that means you have enough people to at least keep them open. They might not be getting rich, they might be going out of business, but there's at least that. If you come in and you open a store and it's good, you're going to take the lion's share of those customers. Now, if the city can support 2, and now there's 3 stores, when you open up, there's probably only going to be 2 stores. You just have to make sure you're not the bottom one. Make sure you're the second best or the best, and you'll do okay. Now, obviously do lots of research, and just because there's 2 stores open there doesn't mean that, 10 minutes north or south is a better spot to open up a store. That might be the case, right? And realize that, talk to people in the chat, talk to people at your local club, ask what stores they shop at, and then ask what city they live in, and keep writing it down, and you'll get an estimation that most people are willing to drive at least 30 minutes to get to a good store. If you're the good store. If you're the bad store, you got no chance. So, 100 gram bars, Mark Johnson, you are crazy. I mean, I'll eat them, but they're towards the last 1/3 of the Halloween candy bag for sure. We got some new members up in here. Gotti Guy, welcome, Captain America. Carrie Cowart, welcome. And Catfish Cave, finally, I can end the stream. I've just been waiting to see how long it takes someone like Catfish Cave, who's been around for like 5 years, to join up and go Team Snickers or Team Reese's, one of the two. I have a question for everyone listening right now. These super chats, are you a member already? Because I feel like the super chats that come through aren't. So maybe an option is super chat or become a member. And I get it. I even hate that you have to pay to ask one question. I'm not a fan of that. In fact, I've officially requested from YouTube that someone that's going to donate $5 Australian, give them, this is the feature I want implemented the most. Let's say you're going to super chat me $5. It pops up and says, hey, would you like to become a member and get all these perks? And in the membership, when it says, welcome new member, it says your same question. Because I feel like that's just more value for you guys. And you'll get to like, oh, sweet. Even if you only did it for 1 month, you're like, cool, I got my question asked, watched all these videos, and I'm out. That's fine. But it doesn't cost me anything to give you guys that. So that's the thing is like, hopefully, they thought it was a great idea. So hopefully they're working on it. I think it's a good idea too. But I also thought of it, so, Welcome, Deborah. Jeannie? I think it's Jeannie. HPB? What is that? Hippo Peanut Butter? Yep. Welcome, Hippo Peanut Butter. Definitely Twix. So I did eat some Twix the other day, and Amy, I think I might be the only person that thinks I really appreciate the marketing on Twix. The left and the right hand side Twix is damn genius. It's a product that's been out for millions of years. There's like nothing left to say about it. And they created a conversation, at least for me, going, that is genius marketing. Left and right Twix. It has no bearing on anything. And I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't specifically pick is it left or right when I'm picking out of the thing. I just appreciate how it doesn't have any bearing on anything and yet is clever. So, yes. Twix is decent. Alright, any advice to start a local aquarium club? I'm in Central Valley of California. There's no clubs within a reasonable commute. Mr. San Diego talk, but the website... Oh wait, but their website looks like they're a neat club. Clubs are hard because, honestly, you can start a fish club or you can start a business. It's the same amount of work and money that kind of goes into both. And most people aren't good at starting a business. So, unfortunately, most people aren't good at starting a club because you need help, you need a website, you need money, you need to rent stuff, you need to have connections to get speakers. Like, all this stuff goes in. And then, after you put an event, like an event happens, and then everyone comes, you know how you can do this better? And your response is like, yes, if I had any help or money, I would do any of those things. But I don't. Like, the number one thing at a club, because I've been on the board of clubs and that kind of stuff, is don't suggest how something can be better if you're not willing to do it. So if you're like, you know, it'd be great if there was always fresh-made sandwiches for everyone. Only suggest that if you're willing to make fresh-made sandwiches every month. You don't have to pay for it, but you do have to make them and bring them. You know, and that's kind of the mantra of a club is like, great, do it. And then people are like, oh, I didn't mean for me. I meant that'd be great, though, if I could just get off work, come in, grab a sandwich, and listen to the thing. But what people don't realize, that's what everyone's doing. Everyone's getting off work and then coming. So, Jennifer Taylor, thanks for the dollar. And Daryl, Daryl Really? Really? Is that your name? I don't know. Corey reminded me of myself when he was sitting in the creek looking at gravel, chilling. Yes, that is my favorite part about Peru. It's not actually the collecting, the just looking at nature like, that bug looks like it'd kill me. Interesting. You know, that kind of stuff. That's my favorite part, but it doesn't make for a good video, and I have to work while I'm there, so I do. All right. I think that'd be a good idea. KG does tiers, which helps me because I never have scratch for super chats, and I can charge my membership to my phone. That's an interesting thing. I haven't done any tiers because I don't know of a good tier system. So what I mean by that is I don't want to create more haves and have-nots. We already have like non-members and members. I don't want it to be like, and YouTube wants me to do this, but I'm like, give me a good reason. Like some feature that might make sense, but I don't want it so it's like, okay, we've got the non-members, we've got the $2, we've got the $5, we've got the $10, we've got the $25, we've got the $100, and I want to focus on like, let me just make extra stuff for you guys, not like, oh, geez, 2 days left? Oh, I promised everyone at the $25 level that I would do a jumping jack video. You know, I just want it to be cohesive and not worry that, like, you know, you're neglecting the $2 level and treating this level like kings and blah, blah. So it's just, all I'm using the memberships for is a filter system of, are you willing to be part of Team Snickers and Reese's and part of that community? Or are you kind of just like a bystander, which is fine. You know, are you that guy that's going to come to my fish store every week and I get to know your name? Or are you just someone that comes in every 6 weeks when you need some fish? Great, we still have a great interaction, but I don't know you by name. That's the only difference there, really. At least in my mind, that's how it works. Whether it plays out that way remains to be seen, I guess, right? Going to have to use levamisol to treat camelinus worms. Daryl, go to selectaquatics.com and click on levamisol. You could buy it there if you wanted, but the instructions there are the ones that I follow, and it works pretty well. So, yeah. When will the new hats be back in stock? So I ordered them a week and a half ago, and that company turnaround is kind of slow. So it might be like 3 more weeks, 2 more weeks. I ordered a lot of them this time, you know, but the turnaround on those hats are not great. But at the same time, they're cheaper than everyone else. So it's like, I either got to charge you guys way more for hats or try and guess how popular the hats are. And you would say, like, just always buy a lot. Like, well, navy blue in Aquarium Co-op does not sell. So I'm glad I didn't buy a billion of those. Greg Bean, you bring up a good question. Any thoughts on the Co-op sponge filters for 125-gallon tanks in the future? I do have thoughts. Let me grab one. You see this sponge filter right here? If you didn't know it was Aquarium Co-op sponge filter and I put it in a different box, this does 75 to 100 gallons. All the competing sponges, when you look on their box, that's what this treats. You know what I say it treats? 40 gallons and up. Because you can make any claim. I could literally on the box, hold on, I'm gonna do it. I got, here we go. Here, I'll make your decision for you, Greg. This is all you have to do. It's for this sponge right here. It's for 125-gallon tanks. This is literally someone's just sitting in an office going, "What numbers are going to sell?" Yeah, put 125 on that box, because I could put this in there with 3 zebra danios and go, "Yeah, this handles an 800-gallon aquarium." That's what's stupid about the industry. And so I try to make actual practical recommendations. So in a 125, if the question is, how would you use sponge filters to treat a 125? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Depending on load, is it like a billion African cichlids? Is it a planted tank with just neon tetras? But maybe with neon tetras, I would do 1 per 2 feet. You know how there's like 2 braces on a 125? Put 1 on the left, put 1 in the middle, put 1 on the right. You'll get good flow. This will handle the waste with the plants, no problem. Oh, you're going deep on the African cichlids. You need a lot of biological filtration. Stack these up. Make them two ply, right? Boom, boom. And put 3 of those behind the rocks. You're good to go. But that's actually why I haven't put the label on here. And I'm going to be very conservative because I don't know. I think people are overselling the sponge filter capacity on a lot of these things. And I would much rather have you have too much, a little bit, than go, because, well, here's the thing. Being that I own a store, there are people that will walk in, buy that sponge, come back a month later and be like, everything's dying. And then I'll be like, well, what's going on? And they've got 76 blood parrots, 9 baller sharks, red-tailed catfish, and something else crazy in this 125. And they'll be like, the package says it'll do it. I spent the $9.99. You're like, whoa, okay. So I would much rather have someone like Greg go, hey, I've got a 125. What should I do? Let's start the conversation and get you where you need to be. So, yeah. All right. We got new members up in here. Let's see if I missed any more. Mr. Goodbar, you crazy? So my wife can attest. I'm into Mr. Goodbars too, like a lot. Yes. Emily Sherman, welcome to the team. And Resi Desi 11. Woo! All right. $100 level gets you the Corey BattleNet name. See, that's also what I don't want to hold that kind of stuff ransom. Because I got a cough. Hold on. Here's the crazy, and I say sad part, because it just, I have no doubt that if I made like a $200 level with something like $200 and you could play video games with me whenever you wanted, there'd probably be like 40 people that would sign up for that. And then I'd be like, I would feel guilty of like, but, you know, like a video game experience or something like that. I always want it to be genuine. I don't want it, like $5 is enough to be like, you showed up at someone's house and they provided dinner, like, hey, here's $5. You know, everyone kicked in $5, the barbecue happened. But if you start going like, oh no, it's $200, then you start judging the barbecue. You start how good of a time is it? Like it's not authentic. Oh, is he only being my friend because I paid him $200? Like I don't want all those dynamics to it. So it's kind of like $5. Like you're in, cool. You know, you're willing to contribute a little bit, and I don't want to downplay $5 because people have let me know that $5 in other countries is a lot of money. I get that. Not trying to downplay that. But you're like, oh, I'm part of the team. We're in. Cool. That's what I'm trying to establish there. Will Pima Fix cause a Betta's eye to be cloudy? I'm pretty sure Pima Fix is just the devil. So that is a product that I myself have never seen benefit out of. I've tested it many times. There are people that swear by it. I wish the product wasn't on the market. That's me personally. Will it cause a cloudy eye? I don't know that I could say it would cause a cloudy eye. I could probably tell you it won't clear a cloudy eye, though. Does YouTube show how many members you've got like subs? I haven't seen any numbers on any of the people I follow. No, Richard, it does not. So I kind of wish it did. Like on Twitch it does, I guess. So you can kind of figure out like, okay, that person's getting some income. Okay, good. You know, but we don't. We don't have any, and if they make it live or not, I don't know. You know. Yeah, I just don't know. For the wallet catfish, Maxwell, I would get some Sarah, what are they called? I gotta look at my own website. I'm having a brain fart right now. And I say my own website because I know I sell it. Other people sell it, buy it anywhere you want. But the food I would add with Farlow Wallet Catfish would be Ah, yes, the wafers with wood, the catfish chips. They like to have wood in their diet. Live stream on a Saturday. What's the occasion? It's Joel Gillett's birthday. Now, I wanted to do a little bit more. You know, honestly, I'm trying to figure out what does Corey do to stay engaged, have fun. I didn't put out a video Friday because I didn't want to, honestly. I was like, I'm sick. I could. I think I'm dialing it back. I don't know. I have this internal struggle of like, grow faster, do more things, make more money. And then I have this other struggle of like, hey, you should take a day off this year. You know, like an actual day off. And so I always look at competitors, right? And if I look at some competitors that only put out one video a week, and then there are times when I'll go 3 videos plus a live stream every single week, the amount of work is insane. And I wonder, well, I don't wonder, I see the analytics that not everyone's watching them at all, so I'm doing all this extra work and I'm not getting the benefit. So I'm thinking possibly I'm just going to do a live stream, a dedicated live stream on Wednesdays, and then a dedicated video on Mondays, and then everything else is extra. Like, oh, cool, I want to put an extra video. Oh, I want to do an extra live stream. Because I can get buried in the grind of making videos sometimes. And that prevents me from launching products. It prevents me from like doing more traveling. It prevents me from doing, heaven forbid, having a day with my wife, going to the movies, that kind of stuff. And so as time goes on, I start thinking about, I think this might be a true statement. This may be a true statement. My wife could probably figure it out a little bit better than I could. I think the co-op has been open for 6 years now. I think we went to Japan for like 10 days, and we've gone to Maui twice for like 10 days. That might be, so it might be 30 days off in the last 6 years. And she'll even tell you, like, I still work while I'm on vacation, but not nearly as much. But there's probably like a few more, sprinkling like one more, probably 40 days I've had off in 6 years. And so I start thinking about, that's not sustainable. What, I don't want it to be like, oh, he's just cranking all this stuff out and then go away. I'd rather be like, no, he's just, yeah, we're doing this for a very long time. That's my goal. So that's where we're at right now. Scrolling down. What's my workout routine? Asked Jordan's Uncle Ted. Mostly I've hired a personal trainer, so that's not cheap. And but I'm putting my health. No, that's not true. It's not my health. That's how I'm doing it. Why am I doing this? Originally I was getting ready for Peru. Yes, I know why I'm doing it. To prove to myself and everyone else that I can do anything. Because I believe that if I could gain a bunch of muscle... that's not true. I'm not trying to gain a bunch of muscle. I'm not really trying to lose weight either. If I could get much better in shape, then I've proven to myself that I can game for ridiculously long hours and I have mental fortitude. I can do pretty okay at business, and I can control my own body. Those are like the trifecta of things I can control in my life. And then I know from that point on, I can make any decision. And so I can be like, I want to run a marathon. I want to get fat and play video games. I want to retire. I want to work for 6 more years with only 30 more days off. Once I know that I have control over all these things, I think my brain will realize that I'm making an honest choice. Because right now I'm afraid that my subconscious is saying, do everything you can to make more money. If this all ends tomorrow, you'll be sorry. But then there's the other half of my brain that says, you really love doing this, and it turns out you might be gifted and good at it. So keep doing it, right? And so I'm in a struggle, but if I feel like if I can master some of these things, then I can, actually think about it and go, no, I'm choosing to do this. I'm not forced to do this. I'm choosing to do it. So my routine is personal trainer 3 times a week, which I'm a guy that I think I would not do it if I didn't have a personal trainer. And before I went to Peru, I was working out 5 days a week. And since I have been sick, I've only worked out twice in the last 3 weeks, but starting next week I have 3 appointments again, and I may work out tomorrow. Like, I try to work on the days off I don't have a trainer. So, welcome, Robert Helstern. My opinion on Isha products, they're intriguing, but we don't have them in the US, so I have no idea if they work. But I love the fact that there's like a medication for everything. Like, oh, you love Snickers? We have a med for that. You'll love Reese's in no time. Did I and the Miss decide if we're going to do a dinner chat at Aquashella? I don't know yet. And the reason I say I don't know is there's some YouTubers inviting me over to come film their fish rooms and that kind of stuff. And I've agreed to one, which would be creative pet keeping. And I still hope to uphold that. And then, but I do like having dinner with people. So I don't think she's found, I feel like there's something in my eyebrow right here. Is that just weird? I think my eyebrow is just weird. I don't think we found a place yet. That doesn't mean we're not doing it. But those are real last-minute game time decisions. Usually it's like day of, like, oh, we're going to blah, blah, blah at 7 or something, you know. Because it's sometimes, you know, if I'm sick or the day's not going well, or let's say there's like, you know, Fluvel's like, we got to make a deal. You know, something time sensitive. Usually that never happens, but I don't want you to like buy a ticket for the dinner, you know, not that dinner's free. I'm saying like buy a ticket, come to Aquashella for the dinner on a Saturday night, and then have something happen where I can't go. So we play it by ear. I hear dogs.
Hey babe.
Yeah.
Come here.
I'll be right back. What are you doing? Oh, thanks. Even though I'm sick. All right, thank you. My wife brought me some more broth to help with my sinuses. Thank you. She's sick, and she's still taking care of me. That's how good she is. All right. Genevieve is having a massive algae explosion. Tank is 4 months old. I use the Easy Pack. What do I suggest? Honestly, have you watched the Plant 101 series? Focus on the algae video, the lighting video, and the fertilizer video. It's going to be like 3 hours of your life, but algae is the result of an imbalance between nutrients and lighting. You've got fertilizers and you've got lighting. Those got to be in balance. The explosion of algae is those not being in balance. And it's a very long topic, and there could be many things out of whack. Could be one thing out of whack, but you got to kind of go through it to see. My Betta's eye is cloudy, almost like a blue color. Used Maricin and water changes. Now both eyes are that way. You crazy? I would say check the water. If you're using antibiotics and stuff like that, check the water. Also, 2 bulging eyes can sometimes be liver, or not liver, but organ failure. Their abdomen will start swelling. It could be a precursor to that. But if it spreads and antibiotic doesn't get it, then I would look to water parameters. It could be heat, anything like that. All right. Ooh, I'm missing members? My bads. Welcome, Derek Chen. Welcome, Wow, I wonder, how legit would that be if that was actually like the North Wales Zoo? If that's actually the North Wales Zoo, I should come visit. That'd be amazing. That'd be cool. The broth is hot. Any business owners knows there's no real days off. The wives of those owners know that for sure. Yes, that's the thing, is like all this business is probably hardest on my wife and my actual family. We tried to schedule a birthday party, a get-together, and because of all the traveling, we booked it 6 weeks out, and the rest of the family accommodates me. And I feel super crappy about that. Like, I'm no one special. Especially, like, you know, when you're in your own family, nothing makes me special. Like, I'm just the person, just like all of them, that was born into this family and have helped each other and been a unit for many years, right? But now, everyone's got to cater to Corey because Corey's going to be, he's going to be in Peru. And then he's going to be over here and he's going to be over here. And I'm always like, and I always tell them, like, just plan it. If I can't go, I can't go. No, we want to have everyone there. And then so you feel super guilty and bad, and yeah. All right, trucking right along. Man in Thacker, thank you. $5 towards a day off and a Snickers. More ornamental breeding videos, please. If you, by the way, these guys were spawning up a storm with eggs and everything. If you haven't checked out the YouTube stories, I've been putting some stories up. Does the 800 gallon feel like an anticlimax sometimes? You were so pumped for it to be a clown lunch tank, but it doesn't seem like you wait. Yeah, but it seems like you haven't been able to get it the way you like it. I don't know. I mean, I really, really liked that clown lunch tank. I think so. The only anticlimactic thing was how much Universal Rocks sucks. Like, I still hate that company a lot. Like, I still feel like they dropped the ball so damn hard that they have like soured me for the rest of my life. I'll be like, Universal Rocks, you need to eat a Mars bar. That's how much I don't like you. Milky Way, the Mars bar, you get them both. But other than that, I really enjoyed when I had it planted with the clown loaches and everything. I would say the one thing I think actually turned the tide was the archers. The archers started dominating the food so much. And then, like, I'm really actually digging the goldfish right now. The only thing I would do over again on the 800 gallon is make it smaller. And what I mean by that is, it's really hard to do any kind of aquascaping or find decorations or anything for this thing. It's so big that that's a challenge. So that's one limiting factor. Is like, what am I going to do with this thing? And then the other limiting factors are, because I'm using it as a backdrop, and there's lighting and all these other things. Like, there's a lot of stuff I have to take into account. If this was just in my living room, it'd be dope, because I just have to look at it and go, yeah, that's awesome. But when I have to design it from, we need to film this, other YouTubers want to film it, it's going to be on camera, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that, I got to do that. It's much different than just your own thing. So, yeah. Do you put your Snickers in the fridge to get them colder, or just room temp? I like them colder than room temp. Depends. If it's real hot out, they'll go in the fridge. Sometimes in the freezer. Depends if I want to break all my teeth or not. You know, a rock hard Snickers like that, you can kill someone with it. Got bad news about the whole control of your body after hitting 40. Well, luckily I've got 4 more years to dial it in. Ginger Graves, congratulations on sticking with workouts. Dorkula Day should be a thing. She's awesome. And love the derpy goldfish. Yes, so Dorkula's job is mostly to keep me social. And we have been going to like some more movies and stuff. But the reality is, our job, like our career that we've chosen, is very difficult. Like what was it, a couple nights ago? You know, it was 5:30. One of my employees messaged me and said, hey, their car, like their transmission broke, and it was at the warehouse. So I went and picked them up. Then we found out that there was a car they could borrow for like the next week while their car was in the shop, but it was down 2 hours away. So I drove them there and back. So, you know, 5:30 I got a call. Didn't get home till 10:30. You know, that means we didn't have dinner together, my wife and I, and all that. And, you know, but you don't just leave your employees hanging and you know, you be good people. But I look at it like, you know, and it's the corniest thing that you can ever say. So take that with a grain of salt. That the employees are part of the family, you know, and so you just help them. Because if I'm going to count on them to help me during Black Friday and Christmas and all that, they got to be able to count on me on some other day. If I'm just like, nah, you're going to have to Uber it. Sorry, bro. You know, they're going to tell me the same thing on Black Friday. Like, nah, I'm only working my 8. I'm out, you know. And you want that relationship of getting it done and working together well, not correctly, but on a higher level, I guess. All right. I have 5 head and tail light tetras, 5 dwarf rainbow fish that feed on top, 10 black phantom tetras that feed on the bottom. Best way to feed in order to ensure the black phantoms get enough food. Black phantoms will get enough. Those things can be pigs. I would just feed something like Hikari micro pellets, frozen cyclops, frozen baby brine, stuff that fills that water column. They'll get enough to eat. They're not a shy fish. They might just be waiting right now. I would shotgun that broth if it wasn't so hot I'd burn myself. Welcome Rick Stidham and Jamie W. Oh, I skipped some. And Michael Chamberlain. Oh, I should show that mug. Yes, this mug was made for us. Oh, it's got both sides. Morning, Corey. It's showtime. I believe this is someone that I had working on social media that did this for us. I genuinely try to put all these kinds of like custom things into practice around my house. So there's a lot of these little weird little knickknacks that I pick up all around. Yeah. You are strong, Corey, but control over anything is an illusion. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. But that's one of the reasons I don't drink. I don't smoke, whether it's cigarettes or other things. I don't even really take medication. It's a big deal for me to take Tylenol, and it's because I don't like to have any limited brain function. But I'm also a madman who drives everywhere with the radio off so I can spend time crunching numbers and thinking. So, yeah. Do I use any add-ons in Classic? Definitely. I'm using like Questy. I'm using like Bagnon or One Bag. And I installed DBM, Deadly Boss Mods, only because it was like another button click. I don't need it right now. Yeah. 36 with old man hairs? Definitely. So you can actually see a timeline of what business stress will do to you through our videos. Because the first videos, when I was like 31, maybe 32, no gray hair at all. And every year, the gray hair is very much progressing. Whether it's actually linked to stress and that kind of stuff, I don't know. But it makes for a funny story. Do I like the ice cream Snicker bars? Honestly, I think I like them less than an actual Snickers. I mean, I'll eat them. This guy ain't turning them down, but I feel like the Snickers bars are a little bit too big also. Yeah. Because by the time you... Oh, geez. By the time you get to the last quarter, it's kind of a melty mess where you're like, geez, thing. And somehow, every time you open that package, you get that caramel on your fingers and sticky. It's not good. I should remind anyone that's freaking out right now, you can only chat and ask questions and do those things if you're a member. This is the extra live stream. Preston John asks how the Scud culture's going. I don't know, Preston. I haven't looked out. I've been so enamored by the tubs next to him. There's a billion Japanese rice fish fry and all that, and the warehouse is still a train wreck. And what I mean by that is there is so many things to still do that most of my free time is spent in meetings or at the warehouse. I mean, there's some late night wowing going on, but between I think, well, I could pull up my calendar. What kind of meetings did I have this week? Let's see here. So on Tuesday, I had a meeting with YouTube. I had a meeting at the warehouse with Randy. We had the live stream on Wednesday. Thursday, I had meetings with the accountants. And then I had... also on Tuesday, we had a meeting with a manufacturer. So that was another couple hours. And then Thursday, we also had to get our dogs groomed, which that's not really an appointment. It's still an appointment you got to do. But it was actually kind of light this week as far as my appointments go. So, but, honestly, I've just been struggling. Well, I've been sick, so I've been struggling to get everything done in a day. So, yeah. I did get some seed shrimp, though, too. So I'm looking forward to both those. All right, we're scrolling. Welcome, Devlin McIlwee. All right. Shooter McGavin. Nice. I like that name, Shooter. I like it. Definitely not coffee, Flynn. I do not have a refined palate like most people on the planet. Just dosed Puma Fix from API a second ago. My guppies and Danios are now mouthing my goldfish. Completely strange. Nobody's in danger, just weird. Agreed? I mean, Puma Fix is terrible, but it probably is activating slime coat. And so if they're... I hear a bird. If they're activating slime coat, stuff might be mouthing on it, yeah. Yeah, emails have not been light for Candy. We're working on that. We're getting back into the busy season for our online business, if you will. And so there might be longer wait times to get responses and that kind of stuff. It starts ratcheting out of control. Yeah. What would I put in a 20-gallon with 8 zebra Danios? I'm looking for something to stand out. A showpiece or a school, asks Emily. 8 zebra Danios, huh? I would probably do like one of the dwarf gouramis. Yeah. All right. Jody says, struggle with weight forever, keto style, cut carbs, sugar, eat good fats, meats, some greens, works for me. Down 40 pounds since March. Seldom hungry, but I always wanted a juicy steak over sweets. Yeah, I'm a savory guy as well. And for me, I can always, like if I want to, I can lose weight. I don't know. People naturally assume because I'm overweight that I can't control it. I just don't view it as that important, which, people would think I'm crazy and that kind of stuff. But, when I go to the doctor, I get an insanely clean bill of health other than, like, you should lose weight. And then it's kind of like, why? Well, because it could lead to stuff. I'm like, but has it? Well, no, you're like completely fit. It's actually amazing how good your blood pressure is and everything else. Like, I mean, I'm a pretty active dude. I do a lot of stuff, So, but mostly, like, I'm just working out because I believe that I want to combat natural progression. And the older you get, the less active you get typically. And I want to make sure I overcompensate there. See if I can find a local mobile groomer, save us lots of time. Yeah, we're real picky about who hangs out with our babies. So, I wonder if my chat crashed or something because I see questions I've already answered, like the head and taillight tetras, and no, chat's still going. And Candy's asking about the scud culture. I talked about that as well. Golden algae eater is too aggressive to get along with panda cories. Not in really large tanks, but keep in mind a golden algae eater gets like this. Like they get chunky, a solid like 10, 12 inches. So, yeah. My wife also helps on emails, and sometimes there's some other employees helping with emails. But yes, Candy is very good at her job, and she. Hold on. She does a lot for us, and her family does a lot for us as well because she will answer emails kind of all day long. So her work day is not just like, oh, you clock in, you clock out. She will answer emails, then be gone for a couple hours, and come back and answer emails, be gone for a couple hours. And so she's really giving at 150% for us and you guys as well. Steve's asking, Corey, with the margins you sell stuff at, did the level of care and customer service you provide make the online business lose money? How long did it take you to become profitable on the online side? We've always been profitable. There's only been 1 month in the Aquarium Co-Op history, and that was in the retail store side, year 2, during the driest summer we ever had, where we lost money. Every other time we've been profitable. Now, profitable is a relative thing. Like, oh, I worked 7 billion hours and ate top ramen for a few years. You know, so there's some people that aren't willing to do that. And so if I was to live like a normal person, we probably wouldn't have been profitable. But it's a constant balance, right? So you want things to be cheap for people to buy. You want to make sure that people are getting good customer service. You want to make sure people aren't taking advantage of it. And it's a really hard thing to balance. And we're doing, I think, okay at it right now, but every week is a new struggle. So, you know, we take it one step at a time. Tariffs increasing again is another monkey wrench. Shipping increasing again is another monkey wrench. Like, there's these things that are just like, yeah. Will I take my shirt off for the stream? I mean, I could. I don't know what that'll do, but I mean, oh God, it's the white chest. Look out. It probably gets me in trouble with YouTube or something. I'd have to look into that, actually. Welcome, Stephen Lawrence. Wee Wee's asking about classic add-ons. Yes, I do, and I think I answered that already. So I'm gonna open my chat again because I can't tell if people are like half listening in the background and they're not hearing the answer, or if my chat is actually like lagged, because this is getting weird for me. So I'm gonna close it and open it and see if it's on my end or. Let's see here. We're gonna pop out the chat again. Whoop. All right, we're back. And all the new members unsubscribe. That's right. You know, if you become a member, you might get blinding white guy pictures. I do have like quite the farmer's tan, like from being in Peru and just being outside and doing stuff. Like, definitely a farmer's tan going on. Do you have to join Facebook separately? There's a join button there too. So the join button on Facebook, technically Facebook, there's a whole community there I could be collecting money from people, but because I sign up for everything when they're like, hey, here's a feature. I sign up and then go, what does this feature do? And then it was like, oh, I could charge you guys to hang out in a group with me? And I was like, I already have the Aquarium group support, though. I don't need to do that. I give that away for free. So the join button there is not nothing to worry about. Oh, it's YouTube, that boy. Welcome. Been watching for years. The knowledge you gave me got me a job at PetSmart and then a manager at a local fish store. Arita, you're climbing right up that corporate ladder. Maybe someday you'll have your own pet store. And I say maybe because not everyone wants that. So, but no, good on you. And even if you got knowledge from me, don't downplay that. That, you know, one of the things I've been seeing lately, there's really no excuse not to excel at something anymore. Infinite knowledge is available on the internet if you look hard enough. Like, it's just there for free, and most of us have access to it. We can get there. We have the internet. And so, really, you got to give yourself some credit for most people. I don't know about most. A lot of people might get off work, veg out, play video games, do whatever. And then there's people that get off work and educate to make themselves better and chase something. So don't downplay that. You definitely would put in a lot of work to be making that happen. So good on you. Put more clothes on for the stream. I'm going to do that friends bit where Joey and Chandler just keep putting each other's clothes on. I'm gonna wear them all. Welcome, Cavaliers 60. If you grow your beard out, I'll become a member. I don't like having a longer beard. In fact, it's a little bit longer than I like. I like it to be soft and, you know, I don't know. I'm not like super long. I didn't even shave today. Normally, I would shave like my neckline and everything for live stream and shooting videos, but ultra casual today. Oh, a happy birthday time? All right, is everybody ready? You got to type it in chat. Because this is one of those things, this is what I love about Joel. Joel will toe the line to see what I'll actually do, and he's been around long enough, he's like, this guy's crazy if he might do it. So I might do it. All right, you guys ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, crazy Joel from New Zealand. Happy birthday to you. It only takes 5 years of dedicated service and you get a happy birthday, so. Welcome to Cichlid Shack, back in action. Richard says, I say all the time that smartphone gives you access to all human knowledge. If you're hungry for information, there's a meal out there for you. It's pretty much true, honestly. Like you can make yourself more educated about almost any topic every day if you want. I Google stuff 100 times a day when I'm like, I don't know anything about that. Now I know something about that. But also don't confuse unlimited information with you having knowledge. There's always firsthand experience that you can't be taught other than experiencing it. So I think we call that wisdom, but you know, don't forget about that. Welcome, Andy Atkinson. You're late, but not forgotten, my friend. Have you or will you make a video on canister filters? Maybe a good way to hot rod the API Philstar canister filter? Well, first, if it says API on it, scratch that off, because that's been known to just make things suck. Anytime they put the brand on some, I'm just kidding. I'm just emo on them. Mostly with a a canister filter, the best mod you can do is the intake sponge. And with the Rena Philstars, they've got a very narrow one. So what you have to do, it's that gray tubing. You have to upsize it with some vinyl. You kind of put a piece on and you put a piece around that. Then an intake sponge will fix that. From there, all you want to do is maximize the amount of stuff in the trays. Pick what you want. Doesn't really matter. But I have done those videos, by the way. They hot rod filtration videos. I definitely have talked about canister filters as well. But that's the quick version. I spent $700 at the Coop in the last year. Honestly, the most honest, best $700 I've spent. So glad when I buy a product you said was great, and I literally have no worry because you keep it real. That's my goal. My goal is, if someone's already spending money, just get them to spend it with me, and then do as much of the pre-thinking and the pre-work and the pre-product selection that I can for you. That is my entire business model of... That's why when people are getting our kinked airline tubing, and they're like, everyone would have sold us a normal price. I was like, well, yes, but I want everyone to know our standards are very high, so that people with high standards will go like, Corey's standards are very high, and if he says it's good, it's gonna be good. Instead of me telling you something's good, and then you get it and you're like, I mean, it's all right, but we just have a quality to maintain. And I talk to vendors about that a lot, and honestly, I'm worried about products we're bringing out. We're starting to get into some more mechanical products like an auto feeder and that kind of stuff. And yes, I can test 20 of them, but if they all work and then they make 5,000 of them and then there's a 5% defect rate, like that sucks. But most products in the world have defects. So, we'll stand behind it, we'll make it right and all that. But I am worried. I would be lying to say, if I wasn't worried about, will these next level of products that are more sophisticated have product launch problems? Will they have this? Will they have that? All I can do is launch it and do as much quality control as I can, make it right, improve it over time. And that's the thing that I I think I need to give myself a little more leeway with is if the first launch, if 20% of them have a defect and we make it right, and then we design it better with the factory and then it only has a 10%, like making things better is acceptable, I think. So I will do what it takes. It was super worth driving down to see you at Coast Fish Club. Slightly off topic, but got any must visits in Chicago while I'm there for Aquashella? I've never been to any of the fish stores, so I don't have any must visits. I've been to a couple of the hot dog places, and I don't remember them. I remember one not being so good last time. So if you're hearing a weird sound, that's the auto water change system. Normally I have that scheduled, so it wouldn't happen during a live stream, but this is impromptu, so that weird sound is that. Dang, I'm too cheap for the super chat, but I want Corey's thought. I've asked the same question for 3 months. I will search it down, simply nobody. I'm looking, I'm searching. You know what would be easier? Repeat it at the bottom. I'm waiting at the bottom to read it from you. So repeat it, and yeah. Delete my relevant question, anyone? I don't know. I don't think anyone's deleting it. How's the Congo spotted puffer project going? It is what it is. We've got them at Dean's house. There's no breeding activity. That's where it is, I guess. Portillo's for hot dogs and Italian beef. I feel like I went there. I don't know, though. It's hard for me to know. I've been to a lot of places. Still waiting on whoever ended with nobody. Because I want to answer that question. Like 3 months is a long time. You're being very patient. So I want to accommodate that. Happy birthday in 3 days, Taylor Van Camp. Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'll give it like a couple more minutes and then I'm going to move on to figuring something else out. Jody says, a new flue ball plant light on the 125, wanting to grow easy plants. Is there a place to learn how to program the Bluetooth lights so I have an afternoon low light, but a morning and evening bright? I haven't watched any videos on how to do it. Because the person who I would guess would have a video on how to do it would be Bentley Pasco. He's a YouTuber. And I know he's made some videos, and I would guess he's actually spelled it out how to do it. If not, you could ask him, and he would make a video for you how to do it. If anyone sees that question by that person, if you want to repeat it. Oh, simply nobody says, is it possible to add the puffer? So I'm getting closer to the question. Scroll. Oh wait, maybe. So, nope. That one says like and subscribe. Yes, please do that as well. I'm honestly trying. Simply nobody. I'm putting some effort in here. Scrolling. I don't know. Hopefully it'll show up at the bottom. How was Peru? Peru was mediocre. I'd already been there once. A couple of locations were dried up. Not getting the fish I really wanted out. Sucked, but it was all right. It's gonna make for a decent video. You know, and part of it is, it's kind of like asking, how was work for you last week? We'd be like, it's all right, I guess. You know, because if I could have gone anywhere in the world, I would have chosen somewhere I hadn't gone yet. But I knew Peru is highly likely to have some decent content where I have no idea some of these other places. So I was going for work. How do I explain... Oh, big test tanks. How do I explain to my customers that I use EasyRead in our store display tank and then tell them I can't sell it to them? But wait, here is CChem. Yeah, big Texas tanks. That's a hard spot to be, honestly. I don't think our business model will work for wholesale, so that's why we don't. The honest thing is, and this is a personal choice, and I want you to realize this is coming from me being honest, not Corey trying to make money. You've got you got a couple options. You could turn them towards CChem. Do you think the customer will be successful with that? If the answer is yes, great. If you don't, you need them to be successful so they keep setting up more tanks and buying more stuff from you. The other option is refer them to Aquarium Co-Op. Now you might go, oh man, you're trying to get money. Do you not watch me all the time refer people to other places? Go buy that from selectaquatics.com. Go buy guppies from Kang Lee. Because I genuinely believe this. If you, Big Texas Tanks, if you are the knowledge source for that customer, maybe you don't have the right fertilizer for them in your store right now, but you got them the right fertilizer. When they come back with another problem, likely you will have that answer though. And that's the important part is I better go ask Big Texas Tanks, oh, you should buy this. And I actually teach my employees, our first goal is to save the customer money and recommend the correct product even if we don't sell it. Like, we don't sell aquariums. We send people to PetSmart and Petco every day to go buy aquariums. But then they come back to us for the rest. And so we love this push-pull relationship. Push them away a little bit, go, hey, you know what? I don't have the best fertilizer for sale. This one's the best. Go buy it online or whatever you're going to tell them. They do that. But you go, but you know what? I do have really good root tabs. I do have planted tank substrate. I do have good plants. I do have medicines. I do have fish. I do have... And when you say that, and you can always circle back around, and if someone's wishy-washy, something like, if I didn't think you'd need it, or if I didn't think I have the best, I'd send you somewhere else, right? I'm telling you, this is really good, and you should buy it. It actually is a great selling tactic, and the other option you have is develop your own fertilizer. That's what I ended up doing. And, realize Easy Green developed before I ever went online, right? So just because you're a store and you're like, oh, I don't have a YouTube presence, I can't do that. The only thing holding us back from doing things is trying enough. And it was hard. No one wanted to believe that it could be made. I had to fight for it, and it was expensive, and I went out on a limb and all that. But yeah. The other option I would say is you could get an all-in-one fertilizer that's pretty darn good. Look into the Dennerley line. It's not easy to get a hold of, but they have decent fertilizer too. And you could carry that in your store, and you could use it in your tanks. But I realize that does put you in an awkward position, but I've been in that position many times myself of, oh, I use this, doesn't make sense for me to carry it. Like, for instance, Fluval FX 4 and 6 filters. I love that filter. We sell them in store. We don't sell them online. It makes no sense. So all the time, buy one on Amazon. Buy one from my competitor. Like, be genuine with your customer, and you'll lose a few. I'm not going to tell you that if you send 100 people my way, you might lose 2 of your customers to Aquarium Co-Op. Oh, they bought plants. You're going to go, that mother... God, I should never listen to that guy. But the 98 people that are left will spend 30% more money with you because you're honest. So you're going to make way more money. You lose 2 of the customers, but you get 30% more money from the other 98. I'll make that trade every day. I'll send people to my competitors knowing that it strengthens the bond between me and the customers that want to be shopping with me, want to support me, etc. So that's my honest advice there. And it doesn't have to be me. You could be Dustin's Growth Juice. I've never tried it, but I assume it's similar. Their Buse Plants makes an all-in-one fertilizer. It could be any of those. Like, it doesn't have to be me. I want to make sure you take Aquarium Co-Op out of this equation and boil this down to, this is the honest advice I would give someone. Shooter McGavin just shooting $2 bills left and right. Oh, and a $1 bill. I like your style, buddy. Would Easy Green be okay in a 75-gallon heavy planted tank with high bio load? Currently using CChem line. Concerned about adding extra nitrates from Easy Green. Nitrate test is low between water changes. So that's a hard one to explain. Easy Green, because it's going to supply so many nutrients, your plants might grow even faster, and you might have lower nitrates. That being said, if you were getting everything your tank already needs, it could be too much. So it's hard to say, but test your water, and in general, there's not too many situations where Easy Green isn't a straight up just improvement. That being said, there are cases out there, and you could be one of them. All right. Do I have any videos on alternative treatments for those who live in countries where meds are now banned? I don't necessarily have any videos I got to live stream on salt, but 100% I would just use salt. Salt, 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 salt. Use salt. It's amazing. If you have planted tanks, that sucks. Because I've talked about that with industry leaders. Like, if medicines go away, planted tanks will fail. I believe that to be true. Not that no one will have them, but the favor of planted tanks will go away. Every time you get sick fish, you have to kill your plants. It's going to go down. So we need meds to stay around. Any plans for more unboxing videos? No. Just means I don't have any plans. Doesn't mean they're not happening. I just don't have any plans. There will be an unboxing video for Peru. The honest answer is everyone that does unboxing hates it. It's very, very monotonous for those that are making the videos. It's not that we'll never do them again, but even people like Robert and all that are just like, oh good, it's another unboxing. Yay. And so, but it is fun when there's like, oh, here's a new fish, it's going to be great. It's not so fun when you're like, it's kind of the same crap from last week. Cool. But we will do some more, just not at the level we were doing them. Where's that salt emoji? Jimmy, we need salt. Yeah, I like that salt emoji. I got to make that happen. Do we have enough members to get another emoji? Let me see. Let me see. I never have nitrates. My plants stop growing. Easy Green doesn't cause algae like other stuff in my tanks and ponds. I always want 20 parts per million nitrates in my tanks. Get good growth out of that when I'm trying to grow plants. Is there a wait time for the custom emojis? There shouldn't. I mean, I don't know. There shouldn't be. It should be able to. Let's see. Yeah, it should just show up. Maybe log out and log back in. Try that, Devlin. I'm not sure. Let's go to memberships. I'm trying to keep up here with multiple things. Sorian Albegard with 17 DKKs. Well, thank you. I'm lucky to have a store close to me that does that. If they don't have the best product I'm looking for, they know where to get it. She even offers to order it and show you how to use it. So that's a perfect example, Cavalier 60. I would hope and I would guess that you remain loyal to that store because they are the source of solving your problems. Ooh, we get another emoji in 12 more members. So we gotta ramp it up. 12 more members. If you're on the fence, you can get us one more to salt emoji. We could do it. Get a little salty in here. Plans with the wild caught Oscar? Well, I plan to grow it about this big, and then I'm going to eat it. No, it's just going to be a pet, and I don't really... So, I don't want to ruin all the videos, but I have this rad tank in mind. I'm like, ooh, these fish I caught with this Oscar, it's going to be great with the common pleco. It's going to be so cool. And then the main fish of the tank weren't allowed to be exported. So it totally like just neutered my content or my idea. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's that, I guess. Am I going to SIPS in Shanghai this year? Yes, Randy and I will be there. It'll be his first time in China, my first time in Singapore, or not Singapore, Shanghai. Is there going to be a flue ball light sale? 180 for a light is expensive. Any better than a planted beamswork light? There's not going to be a sale specifically for them because I'm not allowed to do that. Tariffs have made lighting expensive, and are they better than a beamswork light? That's relative. Some of the beamworks lights suck. Some are pretty decent. None of the beamworks light are waterproof. They don't have the same build quality. I can't speak to the longevity, but I also don't want to tell you, you should only hand me a ridiculous amount of money. That's not a fair statement either. Some people find it better just to buy a known thing. Other people go, well, I could buy 2 or 3 or 4 lights and by then I'll find the right one. It's hard to say, honestly. I myself, I don't mess around. I go with the flue ball lights. I like them. They are expensive, and I'm not discounting that at all. They do have a 3-year warranty, and we and flue ball do stand behind them. So, is Aquashella good for buying fish and plants, or is it more of an experience? Aquashella definitely has stuff for sale. I'd say it's 50-50 on experience buying stuff, where Aquatic Experience, only experience. So, am I coming to Europe anytime soon? I seem to remember you said once you're coming to Netherlands this year, Vivarium. I don't think I'm going to Vivarium. I'm trying to travel less. I believe Corpus Oskin's going, though, and the Shrimp King will be there. I've never owned a goldfish before. I just got a 100-gallon pond. How many goldfish should I put in it? I would do 3. 3 either Shabunkins, Sarasa Comets, or normals. The fancies, unless you live in a warm climate, don't do well outside. Yes, you're right. Caitlin M., you now put us 11 away from the salt emoji. We need more members, people. This is the membership drive. With your powers combined, we can be super salty. Jacob says, I finally pulled the trigger on a Flue Ball 3.0 light, and it was well worth the money. Yeah. I mean, I really like them. It's really hard to be come across as honest when you're the guy that sells them. Like, it's a hard thing to do, you know. But I can be fair. To be honest, I think so. I put some Flue Ball 3.0s on the 29-gallon tanks. I honestly like the Stingrays better there. Mostly because I'm dialing down the Flue Ball light so much because I'm not doing high-end planted that I actually like the Flue Ball, or the Stingray. It's a thinner light. It was cheaper, too. Fun to finance Canadian expansion? Narf. I can say this. This is at the level we are with some stuff going down in Canada. We submitted our documents of formation for the U.S. corporation yesterday. There is a 3-part power of attorney form that I'm signing this weekend, and we will submit to Canada this week. Like, we are rolling through these steps. That doesn't mean it's happening in 2 weeks. Could be another 6 months away, but we are actively pursuing bringing stuff into Canada. We are active on it. Worth looking for breeder fish at Aquashella. I don't think there's going to be a ton of breeders. I mean, there'll be like African cichlids. There'll be lots of guppies. There'll be... Well, okay, if you're looking for fish like breeding pairs, I don't know. But if you're like local breeders and stuff, yes. A lot of people bring in their stuff and set up a booth. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount. So I would say yes for that. How am I liking the new totes in the fish room? Very interested in seeing the updates on those. They're doing okay so far. I haven't done a whole lot. I've got half them filled with water. Humidity rose. The new dehumidifier I'm going to run is sitting in the living room. I haven't put it away or installed it yet. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. Ooh, more members for Corey to get salty. Yeah, I got to figure out a good kind of salt emoji. Looking for live bears? Kang Lee might be in the chat. Are you selling at Aquashella this year, Kang Lee? I don't know. I should move the co-op to Australia. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Australia sounds awesome. I came from the world, WPG world, 15 years ago. It doesn't seem to exist anymore. WPG. I don't know what that is. How the workouts going? They'd be going better if I wasn't sick, but I did work out 2 days ago and finished the whole workout and everything, and I got 3 of them scheduled this week, and I might go tomorrow. Mostly on the off days, I hit cardio just to keep myself active. So. Ooh, Loopy Laura in the Heezy. 10 more to go. That's what I'm talking about. I hope Aquashella comes back to Texas next year. I think it will. I don't know if I'm attending big conventions next year yet or not. I kind of want to... I'm thinking about resting up and playing in the fish room a lot more. And doing some club talks. So I haven't planned next year, and I don't want people to... Everyone should go because the event is cool. But if you've been doing events for 5 years straight, you might be like, I'm going to take a break. That's where I'm at a little bit. Is a second retail location in any future plans? Nope. Possibly expanding the store at some point, but that's long ways out. Nothing planned. The warehouse and the online sales honestly keep me so busy, I don't want to dilute my efforts and make everything worse. Worldwide Tropicals? Prestige Worldwide, my friend. Welcome. What's a good temp with a 29 gallon with white clouds, neon tetras, glow light tetras, and a flame dwarf gourami? I would run that at a nice, balmy 75. That's where I'd run that tank. Twin Cities, when I go to your site, it shows sold out. Twin Cities sells a lot of guppies quickly, and he quarantines them. So, they do go quick. Keep in contact. Both Kang and Sai, his wife, are the nicest people on the planet, and it's worth it. That's all I can tell you. I have his guppies in my fish room right now. I love them. So, does that make it 9 to go? Let me hit the refresh on the salt countdown. T-minus 9. 9 to go. I'm opening a ripoff called Aquarium C00P in Auckland. Do it, Joel. I will literally show up like twice a year to promo it. That'd be hilarious. I did enjoy unboxing videos, but understand if it's just the same fish as the last few weeks. Yeah, I mean, the hardest part of like being the creator is staying engaged. That's hard to do, and that's why we had other people doing it. They were engaged, but even they're like, it's how am I gonna talk about this again? Ooh, I'm checking my messenger. I will say one thing about being a social media dude. Can I show this? Is there anything? Well, I'll do this. You might be able to see it, but yeah, like I just got a message from Oliver Knott, so it's kind of cool. Ooh, they put out a new video on Facebook. So a cool thing that I'm excited about, and I don't know enough of it because I haven't seen him in person yet, but Oliver Knott, world famous aquascaper, and Chris Lukup, I guess world famous shrimp guy, are kind of like starting this movement of like getting back to their roots. They've teamed up and made their own Instagram and Facebook that's Ollie and Chris. And I think hanging out, I've hung out with both those dudes, and they're like legit chill Aquarius, want to do good things, and they've been caught up in the corporate world. And so I'm really excited to see what they do. And they've invited me to do some stuff with them. We haven't figured out what yet, but we've been talking about it for a couple years now. Like, we should do some stuff. Like, is it like a tour? Is it just hanging out? Is it scaping people's tanks? Is it the Pimp My Tank series? Like, who knows what will happen? But I like the direction they're going in, and like, let's get back to our roots instead of like, being corporate. Let's get more back to our roots. And so he sent me I think a post or a video. Let me see here. Oh, he's got an announcement he's doing. I won't be able to watch it now. Did it like 5 hours ago. Yeah. So it's on the Ollie and Chris page. Go check it out, guys. More support to people like that. And I know Chris really pretty well, very honest guy. And then Oliver, I would say he's an acquaintance, and I've talked with him a bit, but I can tell his passion's there because he'll do things. He does a lot of things in aquascaping that other people would say that's dumb. Like you can't do that and that and that, and he keeps doing it because that's what he likes, and I think that's super important. So, more species spot highlights would be nice. I do plan to do some more of those once the voice is fully recouped. Yeah. Oh, did Oliver's Facebook get hacked? That's no good. That sucks a lot, especially if you're like imagine if the Aquarium Co-op one we had to start all over, and that it'd be pretty detrimental. So if that's true, I'll reach out and be like, dude, what can I do? Like, let me help you rebuild, whatever you need, I got you. So I'm flying to Boston, Massachusetts in October. Is there a way for me to order Aquarium Co-op merch delivered somewhere to pick up? Won't be in the Airbnb much during my stay. So this is one of those things that I'm going to preface with, don't make it a horrible pain in our butt. But yes, people do order things to hotels and Airbnbs and that kind of stuff. We ship very quick. If you're going to be there for like 4 days or 3 days or something, order it before you get there and have it, have like the Airbnb or the hotel people look out for it, and then you just pick it up, maybe when you get back to the hotel or whatever that night. That being said, we are not responsible for anything that gets lost or stolen. This is a weird situation, but we try and accommodate as much as we can. We can't write things on the box. Like, you have to handle on your end. We will ship it to the address that you submit. That's what we will do. And we will ship it in a timely manner. All right. Ooh, we got new members. Brandon Bosek, thank you very much. That makes 8. T-minus 8. 8 is the countdown. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, number 7. 7 more to go. Jana Harris. That's what I'm talking about. Switching to auto feeders, what is a uniformly shaped food that will work nicely for livebearers? I don't like how flakes are in the auto feeders. So, specifically if you want flake food, the number one flake food for an auto feeder that I do not sell and legally cannot sell would be the Tetra Tropical Crisps. They work awesome. Wish I could sell them. Other than that, get a uniform pellet. I myself, in my feeders right now, I'm using some Fluval Bug Bite granules. I'm using Hikari Vibra Bites in one of them. And these are on guppy tanks. What was your tank? Livebearers. And then in another one, I'm using some Extreme Nano Food. Testing them all out, seeing what I like. They all are uniform. They're all working. But usually something kind of pellet-based or finely ground. Not too fine. Too fine clumps up, but it's got to have like a micro pellet shape to it. Opinion of captive bred discus in a heavily planted 80-gallon tank. Sustainable or bad idea? Sustainable and good idea, I think. Yeah. Hello, Mitch Callan. Nice to see you. Don't forget to mash that share button, as someone said. Yes. I don't know if we're going to keep these streams up, by the way. I'm undecided on whether I just, maybe they stay up for a couple days, or maybe I just delete them. I thought if there was an option, I was going to be live only. I feel like there is something to, I want some exclusivity, so you guys learn about me, but not everyone will know it, so, you get rewarded. I don't know, that sounds cheesy now that I'm saying it out loud, but in my mind, there's, a reasoning for it. Welcome, Mary McCoy. Do I ever have any plans on going public with Aquarium Co-op, or perhaps let the members buy some private shares? I don't know. I would have to learn more. I'm not that's a area I haven't studied well. So, for sure, I would never give up any of my voting rights. I rule Aquarium Co-op with an iron fist that allows us to make products that I know are good, do things that lose us money, but I know we're good for the hobby. We don't have to report to shareholders, anything like that. So I'm not sure about that kind of stuff. But I don't have any plans. I think people go public to raise money to do more things. I guess if I needed to do that, I could, but I'm unsure of that. Let's see. My wife is telling me a ton of stuff. So she says, Airbnbs usually aren't recognized by USPS as a valid address because the person that's going to be sending it doesn't live at that address. The last time someone did that, it was returned to sender because USPS assumed the address was not being lived in. If that makes sense, they can make it work if they are in a hotel, but otherwise that usually doesn't work, unfortunately. USPS considers many Airbnbs to be uninhabited and not a valid address because the owners don't go through the USPS process to validate mail going to that location. So that would be my customer service team. Having already dealt with that, that is a better answer than I could have given. All right, how's the new warehouse coming along? It is working. It is draining us of all of our money. It is awesome. And at some point I'll do a proper tour and that kind of stuff. We're still dialing it in. Ooh, how many packets we got to go? We've shipped 154 orders with 14 to go at this point. The crew is humming along. Good job, crew. Yes, lots of optimizations, and that's really what we're trying to do with the warehouse. If we can make things more efficient and more optimal, that allows us to absorb tariffs and higher shipping and more customer service and all that kind of stuff. So that's our goal. Is my last fish farm video doing as well as I had hoped? I'd have to look. Let me see. Probably not. 77,000. Definitely not doing as well as it should have. But it is what it is, unfortunately. And I say it should have because I believe that farm is mind-blowingly awesome, good information, and all that kind of stuff. But hey, it's not me who decides what's cool. It's the viewers and YouTube. So there's that. 6 more to go, by the way. 6 more, and we get the salty emoji. I do want to do some stuff someday. I want to do some live streams with Oliver and Chris and just other big people that aren't on YouTube. And let me rephrase that while I pick my nose on the live stream. Because I had snot, and now my snot is dried, and I don't want it to fall out. It's not that they have to be big. People that I respect that are doing things in the hobby, I want to find a way to get them more on. Like if I go to Germany, get a good connection and be a little more low-key. So, yeah. What plants would I recommend for good coverage, but with broad leaves? I have a 120, and I would like to move my female betta and give them a small school of Hanglei rasboras. Broad leaves. I would do a ton of crypts. It'd take a little while, but crypt Wendeti, do that. It's rad. My Episto caves came in. They look great. Now I need Epistos. Yes, we do have the new Episto caves. I'm glad they're up to your satisfaction. Try. It's not. We didn't invent that product. We just made it cheaper. Is all we did, really. All right. I love when my customers say, "Shut up, Candy! Facebook froze, you turkey." I love when they fight out of kindness. Like, no, I served the public better faster. Let me rephrase that. Will you? All right, let me start over. Will you ever fry food in a bigger pellet size? Catfish Cave, we've been talking about it. In fact, one of the companies that we're probably bringing on their food line. And the reason we're bringing on that food line is they're willing to make a food we want to make. And I have to fully research the legality of that. Because we're not sponsored. It's not like they're going to pay us money. We will be selling their product, and not half, but part of the reason is they'll be making a food we want to have made. So, like, I don't think that's sponsorship though. But I'm always afraid because I see a ton of YouTubers doing all this paid sponsorship stuff and not announcing it, and so that's why I'm very careful to try and be like, you know, if I get something for free, I tell you guys. In fact, for the 800 gallon, I wanted to clear up the water a little bit more. I paid full price for 2 FX6s. They're in my house at the moment, so that I don't have to say every time I talk about them, sponsored by Fluwall, sponsored by Fluwall, sponsored by Fluwall. Technically, the lights that are on that tank are sponsored by Fluwall. So, even though I do have powered by Fluwall down here. Can I show you guys? Let me screw it up. Whoop. Oh, powered by Fluwall. But that's just because a super nice fan. Oh, see, now I've screwed it up forever. Let's see, wrong way. Oh, it's horrible. Right. No, that's bad. Right, no, bad. Oh no. See, that's why you don't touch the camera ever. All right, good enough. A fan made that for me, so I put it on there, and I think it's cool. What will my next co-op project item be? What are we on the lookout for? Ooh, Bajari Ray Kajil. Oh, there's like a. I cannot pronounce that. Ray Kajilin? Welcome. And my bad. I know, so definitely on the to-do list, we want to develop a light at some point, but that's a multi-year project. There's some foods we want to do. What else do we want to do? I know there's some meds. We're working on some meds right now, and the test strips we're working on. But we're not rushing anything. That's the other thing too, is like, you know, Randy and other people might come be like, don't tell people what we're doing. It's like, it's not a race. It's the first person to do it right. If someone hears that we're going to release a med and they rush a med out, it's like, hey, if they beat us to the punch and it's great product, that's work we don't have to do. We'll just sell it. You know, so I'm not worried about that. Ooh, Chicken Joe. I appreciated your comment earlier today about, you know, kissing fish in the wild and cheating on Murphy. But I actually do read comments, by the way. I read so many comments. I just don't respond to nearly as many as I read. So I do read comments. First off, Koopy, you're the greatest. Well, we'll just end there. Thank you very much. Finally, the truth is out. L129, what's my experience with them? I want to Google them and make sure I know what I'm talking about. L129 Pleco. Oh, it's the false zebra Pleco. Yep, Hypancistrus. How would you set up a 20 long for them? Love the beard. Keep up the good work. Appreciate all you do. I'd probably, if it was me, I'd probably set it up with a fine layer of gravel, and then I'd put a power head on one side, blowing across the tank, and then I would probably set up a bunch of Pleco caves. And then if that didn't work, I would order one of those ridiculously overpriced like zebra breeding hotels that just seem like way too much money. That's where I would attempt. I'd probably get a little bit of plant matter going in there, like some Java moss or something. Well, maybe not Java moss. It's gonna be pretty hot. Some Anubias then. Only 133 likes? Come on! Come on! Maybe you guys hate extra live streams. That's cool. I'll just never do one again. That's all right. That's cool. Any auto feeders that can go 3 to 4 weeks? It depends on how much food you need to go in there. So I guess I can tell you, one of the products that I want to further develop is an auto feeder like that. So the first step was, let's get an auto feeder out. Then, let's see if we can make the drum on that auto feeder be like this big. Like, oh yeah, that thing holds 20 pounds of food at a time. So, and we'll make that as an add-on. And I want to play with it, make sure it spins right, doesn't break over time, the food still dispenses correctly. There's a lot of stuff when you start modifying. Brendan Bosick. Came down to your store a few weeks ago. Your employees are awesome, walking us through starting up 2 planet tanks. Thanks for all you do. I'm glad to hear that. I think we're interviewing some people right now for another retail store employee. We have been very busy at the store, and we appreciate everyone being patient with us. It's quite a process to hire people that can uphold our standards and are knowledgeable and will fit in with the crew and take customer service number one. We get a lot of people that apply, and we sift through them, we test them out, we trial them, we look for what we're looking for, and I think we've been doing pretty good so far because a lot of people say they love our staff, so that's always good to hear. It's reinforcing, like, okay, we're making some right decisions. So we always look for more than that. More from that? More of that. Yes. How long does a biter take to reach its full size? A few years, 2 or 3 years typically. I bought a load of lava rock and made a cave. Will that give extra biological filtration? If so, how long out of water does a bacteria live, and how long in a canister filter being off? It will give extra bacteria. I don't have any scientific studies to actually show anything. I've seen things as little as 45 minutes for a canister filter. Bacteria being inside lava rock outside of water, I think could go many, many hours because it's going to naturally hold moisture in on that lava rock. Andy says, I've been breeding cherry shrimp for profit for the last year. It's been going great, but now I keep having one die every day. All the levels are good, but GH is 14. It's my birthday today, too. Well, happy birthday, Andy. What I ran into at very high levels of shrimp stocking is actually starvation. They eat a lot all day long. So, you know, try adding Zoom-Ed plankton banquet blocks or some kind of time release feed like that, or feed more often. That's what I would see, because if all water params are good, it can be a starvation thing. Went on break to work just to chime in the live stream. That's what I'm talking about, Colin. Hopefully you got a Snickers or Reese's and you're sticking it to the man. I'm going to eat my Snickers on my own time. Yeah. Big D Smoke, I've been listening but didn't see you before I got back to chat. Well, you're here now and that's what matters. All right, where are we at? Where are we at on Salty Countdown? Salty Countdown says 4 more members to get the salty emoji. 4 more. I think we can do it. We can do it. I've got game night tonight, so I get to go play nerd games with my friends. That'll be fun. One of my only in-person events that I do outside of a computer, which is nice. People ask, what are you hoping to play? I hope we get to play Cthulhu Wars. I love that game. But what did we play last time? We played some new games I'd never played. They were fun, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to bring you a Taco Bell gift card at the Aqua Experience. I don't know how to respond to that. Because on one hand, I'm like, yes, I will use that. On the other hand, I'm like, I feel so guilty that I'm like, no, don't do that. It's really weird. It's honestly weird when people give you stuff that you don't know. Like, I realize that you guys know me a ton because I'm on the screen all the time, but it's super awkward when you're like, I've never met you and you're giving me things. And I realize that, like, you know, you're appreciative of what we've done and all that, but I never know how. It's like, away from the scenes, you're like, this is dope. People bringing me candy, they're bringing me tacos, they're bringing me all kinds of stuff. I love it. But then on the other hand, you're like, oh no, I do it because I know you guys appreciate it, you know. So it's a weird thing. What nerd game? Magic the Gathering? We don't anymore. We used to play a lot of Magic the Gathering, and so for instance, Randy and I, had I not called out sick to go to Florida, we were going to play some Magic on the flight against each other, because we haven't played against each other at all. He used to play before he ever, like, a long time ago, and you know, Randy and I have this like little rivalry going. We play pickleball against each other. He's very competitive, I'm very competitive, and it's fun to compete in things where, like, obviously we have to work as a team in business, but it's very fun outside of business to compete against each other about almost anything. So, like a game that he introduced me to, and it sounds trivial until you do it, is order a sandwich at Subway without ever using an or a like there no pauses like that. It's really difficult because they keep asking you questions. Do you want onions? Do you want olives? Do you want this? What else do you want? And it's really hard not to fill the space with yeah, give me olives. It's kind of a fun game you can play with yourself and your family, and it helps train your speech too, which is a good thing. And it's harder than you think. It can be done, but it takes way more mental power than you think to order a sandwich without the ums and ahs. I think keeping the live stream up is a must. I enjoy seeing old live streams and listen while I work to gain knowledge. It's very helpful. Thanks for what you do. Yeah, it's weird though. So part of it is like live streams in general do terribly for YouTube. And it's not all about YouTube, but if I saturate it with poorly performing content, that drags down the other videos. So it is like this catch-22 of like, oh, but it is awesome, but you know, metrics, right? DJ Pride with a $50 super chat, dropping the bombs. I learned so much from you over the years. I now have 6 tanks in my house. Now I'm planning to put a large show tank in the Urara Lounge. That sounds fancy AF. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. Thank you so much for doing so much for the community and teaching everyone your talent. You're an awesome person. I just take it one day at a time, and hopefully at the Urara Lounge, more people get into fish keeping because you're putting in a cool tank there. So, no Warcraft anymore. I am playing like I played last night, but so for me there's always online and there's in person, and I don't do nearly enough in person things, and so things like going to work out, game night, going to the movies with my wife, those are all things I need to work on and keep myself grounded, because I will just work and I'll sit at a computer all day and fire off emails and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. WoW has been very good for me to, you know, it's weird. Like, I saw a thing and I'm like, oh, I didn't reply to that in 2 hours? Whoa, I'm slipping. Because I was playing a video game. So it was nice to actually go, that's interesting. See, this is what you want from your employees right here. Hopefully you won't spam me with something terrible while I show you guys. Oh, come on. So this right here, glad to be working. I don't think I'm a person who can retire and chill. Need to be doing something. That's Robert. That's Robert, the store manager. He was sick. He had a week off from work, and you know, he's been chilling. And you know, I hope. It's my hope. My hope is like some person knows way more about psychology than I do, knows that, or could say that that's a sign that work isn't the worst thing in that person's life. When they're like, oh, because I feel very relieved to come back to work also. I also love my work. So I hope that that he feels that way too, and that's how it goes. Because he doesn't have to send me a message and be like, oh, I'm excited to be back to work. He doesn't have to do that. So, could be a Uaru Lounge. Yeah, I don't know. Jordan Bats, 3 more to go. Have I ever played StarCraft? You better believe I lost an entire summer to Brood Wars beta, and then I didn't play a whole lot of StarCraft 2. I played a lot of StarCraft 1. You know, I feel like I'm mostly a Protoss guy, but I feel like, you know, if I'm really being competitive, I need to play humans, or was it Terran? Terran, and, you know, do a Marine strat. You know, like, that's, the problem is, when I play stuff, I have to get super competitive. Like, what strat am I going to run? Like, oh, if everyone's running Zerg Rush beginnings, then I need to make sure I can defend with my SCVs and get a Marine or 2 out and then run counter. Like, you know, you want to avoid Reaver drops and, you know, back cannon base building. And, you know, I get into stuff to get competitive. That's what I like to do. So, yes, I've played a game or 2 of StarCraft in my time. Ooh, Big D Smokes is going to Subway today? Yes. Give yourself the challenge. See if you can... Maybe that... I should start that. How do I start that challenge of... If you screw up and say or ah while ordering the Subway, you have to give $1 more of a tip. Then those people will be super stoked because they're getting an extra $1. And if not, you just give them your normal tip. But it took us like... It took me like second attempt. But it's... You really like... You stand there like a robot and they're like... Would you like all this stuff? And then you're like, olives, please. Onions. Mayo. Because it's so hard not to go, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, we'll do all that. It's just so naturally ingrained in our dialect, I guess. All right. What about making the live streams archives for subscribers only? I can't do subscribers only. I can do members only. That's a good idea. Is that a good idea? I don't know. That's an idea. That's an idea to ponder for sure. Although that's still, I don't know. I don't know that answer, but I like the way you think, and that's an idea to ponder. I like it. Shipping is $15 flat rate for any amount of fish. Hope that helps. Must be for another place. I don't know. Should I wear rubber gloves when working with malachite green, like when I'm water changing with that stuff in the water? The answer is probably like yes, but I never have, and I've never had a problem. But in general, if you ask anyone, like, oh, I've got chemicals, should I prevent that? Yeah, probably, but yeah. I like that Joel says, if you screw up, you have to storm out of it and find a new subway. That's right. You get blacklisted forever. Oh, I can't show my face. Any Age of Empires or Rise of Nations? I played a little bit of Age of Empires. Not a whole lot, though. I never played Rise of Nations. Your live feeds that last 2 hours or more are some of my favorite videos. I don't watch TV much, and you are my maestro when it comes to all concerning aquatics. Yeah. I enjoy doing longer stuff. I don't know how long we've been going. To be honest, I've really been considering, should I play video games and be a Twitch streamer when not doing Aquarium Co-Op? Because I feel like I could watch a chat. I feel like, honestly, I could be playing WoW right now and answering these questions, and I'd be having fun. And then I thought, like, I wonder if I could do what Twitch does, and that is keep talking to everyone all the time while working. Like, if you guys just had access to me all the time through memberships, so one of the reasons why memberships is so good is it inherently puts a $5 barrier of someone spamming inappropriate stuff. So it makes it way easier on mods, makes it way easier on me. Yeah. I never got into Star Wars Galaxy Online. I'm not a Star Wars dude, though. I know, I just lost all our membership, but I'm that guy. Oh, Trish, sorry you're losing connectivity while you're in the building. They're anti-Aquarium Co-op and you shouldn't stand for it. That's all I know. Ooh, John Cronval. That puts us at T minus. Two more members and we get the salt memeage. We gotta have Jimmy make it though, because it won't be instant. Get Discord? No. In fact, hell no. So what people don't understand, I've already got a billion things open, right? So we've got streaming software, we've got YouTube going, we have business stuff going, we have email, we have Facebook, we have all this stuff going all the time. Adding another platform, and I've tried it with Patreon and other stuff, it only means I'm dividing my time even further, and it will be kind of a crappy experience. Instead, I want platforms to cater to me, and I realize that sounds dumb, but if YouTube wants me to make them more money, then cater to me. Give me a chat room. Let's not go on Discord. So for instance, I won't be able to have a headset on and be in Discord and talk with you guys the whole time because I'm using Facebook to place calls around the world with vendors and do all that kind of stuff. And even though I have multiple microphones, it gets weird keeping everything straight. We have to do Skype calls. I have to do all this stuff. And so another voice thing won't work. Whereas like if I was live streaming, I could schedule those calls at different times and that kind of stuff. So I mean, on one level, Discord seems totally worth it. On another level, the customer service team doesn't want to spend the next 6 years teaching people how to download and use Discord. Half the people that watch our videos can't figure out YouTube. It's already a thing. And there's bugs with everything. There's, like, oh, it's not compatible with this or that. Wait a second. Oh, 801 ATX Aquatics. G. Bradshaw and Danielle. Ooh, and Daniel. We up to 802. We are on our way for another emoji. That's what I'm talking about. Salt's going in. Don't use voice on Joel's Discord. Well, then you just have a chat room, right? At that point, why not just put a chat room on my own website? Which we've considered, but again, that's a whole nother platform to maintain. Yeah. Plus, also realize that, and this isn't meant to say anything other than a statement. If I made a Discord and there was chat there, maybe you wouldn't hang out in Joel's chat. You'd hang out in my chat. I don't know that we need all the things all the time anyway. But yes. I mean, there's a 24/7 chat on Washington Fishbox, just not many people use it. People will now know that Joel Gillett hangs out there. I pop in every once in a while. Some other people hang out there. Steenfod Aquatics is there sometimes. But, we have it. I'm a guy that lives on the internet for the last 25 years. I'm privy to most things, and usually there's a calculated reason I'm not doing something. And in general, keeping people aligned with a platform is better for everyone involved. So, how do I feel about peacock eels? I think they're awesome. Yeah. Love it that you don't talk down to beginners, but are honest and let us know the truth we need to know as newbies. How dare you, newbie? No, I'm kidding. It's because, I don't know, I feel like people, if they think about it, you might have never kept an aquarium and today's your first day, but you literally might be a brain surgeon. Just because you're not knowledgeable in one subject doesn't mean you're not a knowledgeable person and you're not a wizard in something else. I don't know. I think about it a lot, and I was really stressed out when I ran the store and there wasn't enough employees to help me and that kind of stuff. And when I would get irritable with people, it was stress that was doing it. And it wasn't because I wanted to be mean to someone that was new or I had a short temper. It was mostly I didn't have the time. And the time to explain it is what got me into trouble. And so I would not make sure people fully understood and spend the time. And so by taking myself out of the store, that's one of the reasons I don't work at the store anymore, is I give myself a lot of time. This gives me a lot of time to spend actually helping people and not be well, I got to get this done before we go home, blah, 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 right? So, yeah, I think that I'm not sure people want to down talk others. I think it's a stress and time management thing, because I believe that everyone, if someone was new to the hobby and they were your spouse or your child or family member, you'd give them all the time. A complete stranger, we tend to not give them the time, and that's what comes off is down talking to newbies and that kind of stuff. And so I think I'm fortunate that I figured out I need to put myself in a position where I have the time to do this, because it is time I find to be the limiting factor. Welcome, Seth F. And thank you for the $2, ATX Aquatics. I can only think about ATX Power Supplies. Yes. Community college, network administration. I'm a nerd. I did, computer programming, but is it the A+ certification? Is that what that is that I did in high school? I'm A+ certified? Is that what it's called? It's such a hokey BS certification. I don't even remember. Too much of any one group would get old. Your format is almost perfect. The good news is YouTube provides us lots of data, and with that data, I can see trends coming on and going, and you know what? People are burning out of this. I need to take that away for a while. Oh, now it's back. People are into it again. So if we watch the data, it helps us a lot. Jones studying for certifications. Taking time off is actually very good so long as you rest. So, if I was going to work for the next 12 hours, it might not be as good as working for 8 of the 12, but the 4 hours I'm actually resting. Something like WoW, it puts my brain into a passive mode and allows me to rest. So those other hours I'm very proficient. And I learned that when I was running the store, I was working many, many long days, never having a day off, and one of my close friends said, "You're working too much." And I go, "Well, how do you know?" And he says, "You're having trouble remembering words, and you're missaying words that you would have never had trouble with before, and that's usually a lack of sleep, and your brain is not as rested, and so you're not using, your full. I mean, you're not as eloquent, basically, is what it comes down to." And I didn't know until I really started forcing myself, and I still force myself basically to get at least 8 hours sleep, and it makes a huge difference. By resting, the time that you are awake, you are more efficient. And so I do know, and that's why I am fighting for days off and that kind of stuff, is I know that in my mind, I don't have time. But if I took the time, magically I'd be more efficient and I would have the time. It's one of those chicken and the egg scenarios for me. Is cross-pollinating aquarium plants bad? I have a random Pontigeton sprouted from a bulb a week ago, and I shot up 2 flowers. Can I just take pollen from one, pollinate the other? You can definitely try it. You just take this, take a paintbrush, paint both stamens, and see what comes up. Yeah, I don't know if you can cross them easily or not. No truer words have been said, Joel. Your words are dumb. Yeah, I concur. How do I use emojis? I never use emojis. Me too. So down, in theory, if you're on a computer and it's like mine, down at the bottom you're going to see that super chat button. Next to it there's a smiley face. You click that and it opens up a menu with other emojis, but then the Aquarium Co-Op emojis, right? And you can click those, or you can learn that like the hamster is :COOP hamster. Yeah. All right. How long have we been going? I don't know. So it's 1 o'clock. Game night for me starts at 5:30. I probably should do some work. I'm getting hungry. We're kind of winding down. Is there any other questions you guys have? Like, now's a great time for me to answer some of your questions. That kind of stuff. Otherwise, this could be like, party's winding down, people getting tired, people got stuff to do. I mean, other than he reached the new emoji. Maybe Saturday should be like emoji challenge day. Can we get to the next one? Tank mates for guppies besides other libears, cherry shrimp, pygmy corridoras, things like white clouds. I mean, a lot of different tetras, neon tetras, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Egg came several thousand years before the chicken. All right. All right. Favorite root beer? I'm not huge on root beer, but my favorite is brownie root beer. It's a brownie cream root beer that we used to sell in the store when we had the bottle machine, and very good. It tastes like a root beer float, but it's straight out of the bottle that way. I thought about doing a membership-a-thon. I honestly thought about doing that, Kira, but I was a little worried that people would take it the wrong way. That, like, let's say I did it like 24 hours or something, they're like, oh, look at Corey, he's really, really trying to get people's money now. And it's like, if I'm being 100% honest, the money doesn't matter. I want the subscription or the members because I now have meetings with YouTube once a week. That's how much they care about what we're doing. And they're asking me questions. What do you think we should do with this? Like, we literally, as in us, we are having feedback that is shaping the way YouTube will progress. Like, that's an insane spot to be in. Talk about being involved in your work and that kind of stuff. That's, I consider that to be important. It keeps, our livelihood going, but it keeps our entertainment going, and we can make things better. So the more that I can prove that we're doing some of these things right, the more they want to listen. They're putting me and us in other beta programs, so we'll test newer features, give feedback, Like, because we're helping them, they'll help us. So that's really what I care about. What's a good fish buying websites besides Aquabid? Looking for a red-tailed dwarf puffer. Thewetspot.com. Get Gills. I don't know if they're going to have that puffer on there, but it's kind of like an Aquabid website. Get Gills. Bay Area Aquatics. I know that you sent me an email about an affiliate program like 2 weeks ago. I've been sick and I've been busy and I haven't responded yet. But I do want you to know that I have not forgotten about it. I will respond at some point. And I do have, in the coming your way will be like another, some products for you to play with. But, not tomorrow or anything like that. But I basically put you down as an influencer for a company that I thought, this person does decent reviews, you should send them product. Sorry about that. Why doesn't the hobby focus on anoxic filtration to complete the nitrogen cycle? Is it because everyone is scared of H2O? No, because changing water is easier. That's just the simple answer. Also, plants just do it better. So, with two viable alternatives, we're not focusing on a third one that's clearly just more work and more trouble to set up, from my standpoint. When do you foresee getting aquarium salt back in stock? How do I say this without pissing people off? I can say this. We ordered salt before we would have ever run out. The companies responsible for getting us that salt have not done their jobs. So we expect salt any day now. We should have never been sold out. But it is what it is, right? So, unfortunately, when someone says like, oh, turnaround time is less than 5 business days. When it hits 12 business days, guess what? That's clearly more than 5 business days. And they usually are fast shipping, but it's really hard to plan stuff when you're like, oh yeah, they ship in 5 days. We don't want to carry a ton of excess inventory. And so the reality is this, we had salt and we had enough. But then I did a talk about meds in California, which is one of our biggest states that buys from us. And people bought a lot of salt. That's what happened. So it ran through faster than we needed. We would have already restocked anyway, but we would have had no disruption. But because our supplier had a disruption, that makes us have a disruption. So, it is. No one cares about hydrogen sulfide gas either, Gareth. I shouldn't say no one. Everyone does, but no one should be afraid of it because it's in vast quantities in nature. So, I think people might be scared of it, but the reality is, out of the people in this chat, most people have never heard of anoxic filtration. And the people that would educate, like me, I believe plants or water changes are a better thing for most people because they won't run sumps, and most people will have fish that dig. So, yeah, I mean that's honestly what I think is going on. Is it's just easier. If anoxic filtration was ever going to take off, it would be in above tank sumps like they do in Singapore and that kind of stuff. I think that's the way to actually make it take off. But no one embraced that technology in America yet for the overhead sump. So maybe someday. In the IT world, we see delays out of China daily now. Oh, don't get me started with delays from China. There's a lot of products like the sponge filter should have already been here. Auto feeder should have already been here. There's a lot of stuff that's like, that's unsavory, but you got to do what you got to do. Like it is what it is. There's nothing I can't. All the kicking and screaming I can do won't speed it up. So, have I ever bred dwarf pea puffers? No, I haven't physically bred them myself, but a lot of employees have. They've spawned at the store, but I only count like I took them home, I set them up, they bred, I raised them. Not in that capacity. So, Josh Krupinski, I think. Welcome. Thank you. If you're in the chat right now and you're like, my messages won't go through, It's members only. So that just means that you have to become a member and you can ask questions. We'll get them answered as fast as I can and as much as I can. And it's the extra stream. I've got shrimp and it had guppy grass in it. Now I have thousands of little bugs on the glass and water column. You probably have seed shrimp, fish lover, which isn't necessarily a detrimental thing. Like I asked someone to bring me seed shrimp so I can feed it to fish. Yeah. Probably just a good little thing, but without seeing them, it's hard to diagnose what possible type they are. I had hognose cories in my tank, but for 3 days I can't find them. Could it jump out? It could jump out. It could also get wedged up in a decoration or a piece of wood if you have that. Check there. It's never a good time. I'm cool with an overhead sump. Can you come and build it? I can bring them in from China. They're hard to ship, and I don't think they're going to make a lot of money, and I think they're going to be hard for people to adopt. But someday, I want to. Oh, it's Krupinski. I'll try to remember that, Josh. Thanks for the clarification. I appreciate that. Krupinski. I can say that. I'm going to set up a 30-gallon, try to breed them. Want to get more captive raised dwarf puffers into the hobby? Yeah. It's not a bad thing to be a part of. Do I ever get bettas out of Indonesia? Have some awesome bettas there in Thailand. Definitely from Thailand. I don't know specifically if we have them coming out of Indonesia. I'm not sure. That's not in my wheelhouse of do I know. All right. I think we're winding down. It's 1 o'clock. You know, I'm at the bottom and like waiting for like, okay, is there any other stragglers here? Is there a safe way to use a sump on a 120-gallon tank that is made of tempered glass? I understand that you can't drill tempered glass. That's true, Ginger. You can get what's called an overflow box. It's a box that'll sit on the inside and outside and have a tube that goes between the two. You gotta do a little bit of calibration work. They can be fairly reliable. That being said, I personally am not a huge fan. I've used them in the past, but invariably at some point you'll hit a snafu and you'll get a little bit of water on the floor. I only want to drill tanks, and I realize you can't drill that tank, so I would go, just use canisters, good enough. Oh, my wife is yelling at me. I don't know about what, though. Would ghost glass cats be sensitive to quarantine metrio? I found them to be a little bit sensitive, or could be, but in general, glass cats ship so poorly that meds are not. They were really hard to keep alive. It's one of the few fish we still don't sell, really. Yeah. I don't know what my wife's trying to tell me. I don't know. Maybe she texted me. Nope, didn't text me either. How often should I dose my plant tank with Easy Green? 10 hours of light a day? Probably just once a week. Want to order a new tank? I have 24-inch Flue Ball 3. Please give recommendations. If you could get a Marineland 24-inch cube, I think those are 60 gallons. That'd be a great setup. Yeah. Joseph, my pleasure hanging out with you all. That's really what I get to do is I get to hang out, and then I share any of the knowledge I've put together over the last few years, and you guys are super appreciative. So there's a new Mountain Dew? I didn't even know there's a new Mountain Dew. No, I haven't tried it. I haven't had any Mountain Dew or anything like that. And when's the last time I had a Mountain Dew? Maybe 6 months? I mean, I would drink one right now. It's not like I wouldn't have one. It's just I've been drinking a lot more. I really love this container of water refillable that I got from Costco. I've been thinking about doing that, by the way. Would you guys be interested in... So I thought about adding a third segment to the live stream. So the first segment is education. Second segment is answering Q&A. I thought about adding a third segment that was, here's products that aren't fish related that I think are amazing in my own life. Like one of them, do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. I'll show it to you sometime. But maybe, because I feel like I'm good at identifying really good products. So like, this thing's good, price point's great, you know, even in my own life. So I don't know. Voodoo do for Halloween. I mean, I'll have to try it because that, I mean, you got to try it, right? Yeah. What do I use to sanitize fish nets at the store? We run them under hot tap water with chlorine in it, and then we let them air dry. We have done salt dips before. We've done a bunch of things, but that's the one we found that works well and is least messy. I just got a Lark bottle. It's got UV sterilizer for self-cleaning throughout the day. Yeah, I've seen those. That's one of those things I wonder, like, do we need that? I'm just saying. Like, I'm not sure how afraid of bacteria I am. Maybe I should be terrified. I just don't know. Yeah. But I love these things. I'm drinking way more water because of it, so. Get Dean on more live streams? We probably will. He might be back in town now. I don't know if he might get back Sunday, I think. We'll see you later, Gareth. Have a good night, nerd. It's only because he said fellow nerds. Not just calling people out. Sounds great. Need longer live streams? Yeah, well, we'll see what goes around. I think, honestly, there's two ways to do YouTube. There's get the most amount of people watching you, or get the people that are watching you to really connect with you. And I think I like that path better. Need to get a bunch of lights for the new tanks. Would you recommend DIY lights or something else? Also, should I have gone with one 72-inch light each shelf or two 36-inch lights per shelf? So I personally, Twin City Guppies, when I'm designing a store or fish room, I like 2-foot lengths. So I would do 3 2-foot lights on a 6-foot shelf, because if you ever redesign and go to 4-foot tanks or anything, that works there also. Or 8-foot spans, you can do 4 lights. And if I'm being honest, I would either A, try to open up a wholesale account with a lighting place, B, find a good light on Amazon or eBay, maybe a Beams Work in 24-inch that you like, and maybe do that. Or you could try and DIY. I've seen some of that stuff done at wholesalers. It's just never enough light for what I want it to do. I want decent light. I want to see illness. I want plants to grow. It doesn't have to be flu vault quality, but it can't be, I mean, technically there's a light on. You want it to show up well on camera when people come over to film. Like, there's just a lot of good reasons to have decent light. And, you know, what I might do, honestly, King, is I would also look into 4-foot LED shop lights or retrofit bulbs. You might be able to find something out there online in mass quantity that would do okay for you. Costco for a while had really good $25 shop lights, but they don't anymore. Is lighting important for non-planted tanks? Can I run LED strips on a tank rack if I'm not using plants? Yeah, technically anything that will illuminate it and lets you see them will do just well. Hello from Trinidad. Hello, Jason. More 8-hour live streams. I've just watched all the old ones and I can't get enough. I always learn from your inspiration. Yeah, I could try doing some more of that. Like, the reality is, if I, you know, kind of hang back more like this and I was doing some work and I was live streaming at the same time, I could get some more of that stuff done. But carving out 8 hours of like intense YouTube live stream entertainment, it's like losing an 8-hour day. So, and Grace84, welcome to the stream. Thank you for becoming a member. Will the Saturday routine live stream be a thing now? It's not a thing yet. I hesitate to make something a thing. Weekends are rough, right? So, like, I already know Aquashella, Aquatic Experience, Shanghai, all those would for sure, nope, can't do the live stream on a weekend. What I kind of want random times, like, you know, where I can do it and I want to do it. That's what I want. Whether that works or not, I don't know. But that's what I want. And what I want, I get. I don't know. We'll see. I have an oxalotl. Would it be okay to put in my 105-gallon tank with a common pleco and a goldfish? The goldfish a lot of times will bite at their gills. I don't know if I would do that. And the pleco might suck on the slime coat. I'm a guy that will try about anything, and I'm kind of like, I'm not sure that's a great combo there. You know, I would avoid that one. Could be done though. I mean, I'm not going to say it couldn't be done because I've seen about everything. Great products might be good once a month. Try it out. I'm sure people suggest things for you to try. That's the downside. Yeah. I mean, it just depends. Like, I was a guy, you know, I love watching other people's reviews. So, like, I really fell in love with this Ridge wallet. It's a very minimalistic wallet. My wallet used to be huge, and I slimmed down to something like this. So, like, you know, I don't get a kickback or anything. I honestly love this thing now. I use it all the time. So, you know, just little stuff like that where it's like, hey, here's the thing. Here's why I think it's cool. I don't think it's worth the price I paid. I'd never buy another one. I bought the carbon fiber one because I wanted 3 ounces lighter. And that seems like not a lot, but I carry so much gear that we run into weight problems on, like when we went to Peru, Dean had to unload camera gear into my bags to get through because you get way less weight on like the Peruvian airlines, like actual from Lima to Peru. It was like, so your bag in the United States could have like 22 kg, right? It was 8 kg. 8. After that was a $35 charge each way. So we had to like rearrange a bunch of stuff. And so I knew that because I do a lot of traveling around the world. And so anytime I can shave ounces off of the weight, it allows me to get through the airports a lot faster and easier. And some of that stuff, it does make sense for me to invest in. Can you give my daughter a time for bed? Shout out, please. I don't know your daughter's name, but it sounds like it's time to go to bed. And just remember, if you go to bed now, you get up tomorrow, and there's a bunch of stuff to do. So, you know, one day you'll be looking forward to going to bed instead of fighting going to bed. Jack Turner. So, Jack, hopefully it's working for you. I think you're the Jack Turner that sent us an email. Candy brought to my attention that when you signed up, it wasn't letting you see the member videos and all that. I'm going to talk to YouTube about that and go, hey, what went wrong? And that kind of stuff. So hopefully it's working for you now. There's probably bugs in the system, and I want to work those out for you because you shouldn't have to pay for something you don't get. So hopefully you're the same Jack Turner that we looked into yesterday, and I appreciate it. The SpyGen iPhone case and credit card holder, that thing has saved me so many times when I lost my wallet. I used to be that guy that would have that, but now I always use the battery phone or the battery case because I do so much filming and I can go a lot of times between being able to charge, especially out in Peru and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, but I definitely, you know, I enjoy a good phone case. All right. I think we're officially done. I'm going to play some WoW. I'm going to answer emails. I'm going to eat lunch. I'm going to go pet the puppies. Yeah. We're officially 45 members away from the next emoji. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Oh, Ruby. Ruby, it's time to go to bed. It's getting late. Go to bed now. Make it easy. Get up and play tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna call it. It's been fun hanging out. We're 45 away from the next emoji, so let's do it. And if you're watching this, I'm gonna leave this up and see how it goes. If you guys actually watch it, then maybe it'll be a thing. If you don't watch it, then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe. Even if it's not live, don't worry. I see everyone that subscribes, and I go, oh sweet, they subscribed, great. Or I mean, became a member. Well, subscribe. So, a Mulm emoji. Literally, I've already Googled for like, what could Mulm be? I don't want it to be the poop emoji. I'm trying to think of how can I make it so when everyone sees it, they go, that's Mulm. I knew it. I'm trying to, that is an emoji I want to make for sure. Trust me. I'm just trying to, how do I envision that? And it doesn't just look like a, a poop emoji. I want it to look like, you see that? That was a giant goldfish fart. That literally just happened on screen. But yes, salt emoji's coming. We're looking for other stuff. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the new members. If you're watching this now, maybe become a member so you can be in on the next member-only chat thingy dooder. And we'll keep taking over YouTube one meeting at a time with those guys. So maybe someday they'll fly me out. And then I'll make a members-only video like, we did it. And then they'll be like, here's a Mountain Dew, thanks. All right. Gots to go. My voice is actually starting to tighten up a bit, so I know it's time. I'm going to run out. All right. Yes. We'll see you guys later. All right. So I'm getting off so Ruby can go to bed. That's a perfect excuse. We're done. Ruby, you got to go to bed. We'll see you next time. And if you go to bed, maybe you'll get to watch again. So good night, Ruby.